on starting the stream.
Cool.
I will need to grab the URL to send people. I'll do that.
I think I've got it. Actually, I think I... Oh, no, hang on. I got it over here. I got it over here. Maybe I don't got it over here. No, I do have it over here.
V, we're live.
It's all right. I got it over here. No, that's not what I wanted at all.
You said that, right? You started recording. Jeez.
Totally wrong. I don't got it. It's way
There,
up.
I linked it. I'll link it on Twitter too.
I totally had it.
Yeah, good job. So welcome everyone for another exciting night of HSD.
Yeah, pretty much. It's been an addling week, honestly. It's a little crazy. Lots of stuff going on. All right, we are good. Anybody pop in yet? Just so I know.
I literally just posted it. It will take a few seconds. Yeah. I don't know if anybody, and if anything, they might hear it in the recording later. So, but there's nobody there so far. So.
Oh, okay.
I can tell. It has logged in anyway. I don't know if I have any guests.
Peace and
oh, there's some jerk wad watching now. I mean,
that's
hi,
me.
Toby.
Okay. Well, in light of the fact that there is nobody here at the beginning, I think we can probably bypass the little summary anyway. So, because otherwise, I'll just be waiting
you're
for
doing
folks.
it might get up on YouTube, and then people could watch this as a kind of catch-up thing. It'd still be a good idea to do it all, honesty.
Oh, fine. All right.
Basically, we want to hear you talk.
Okay, so this is an HSD2 test game that has been running for a while now. Actually, we should check back to see how long it is. It's been several months, right? I think 4, something like that.
I can
That's
tell
the first
you.
one?
Let me look. I have postings, so I will look at my postings while you talk. Keep talking.
Right. Well, I think it's been about 4, based off of my random recollections, where we've been putting 2.0 rules to the test and adjusting them and tweaking them and doing all sorts of fun stuff in order to get a more 4 months, cool, a more robust game out of it. 2.0 has a lot of different changes in it, all designed to help enhance gameplay, make things more fun, make it more exciting, and deal with some of the problems that came out of 1. And so far it's been going pretty well, I think. We're having a good time with it. It gets better every time we play, and the adjustments are coming fewer now than they were before, which means it's landing in a good spot. So soon we will start to see this stuff put out in a more public area so that other people can play with it too. And that will give you all a chance to check it out. If you want to see how the overall evolution of the system has gone from when I first started putting 2.0 together to now, this campaign I think is all hosted on YouTube and can be found via the channel that you're currently watching, or on, what's the channel that you have it hosted on right now for YouTube? I think it's like SL Caldwell, right?
Yeah, it's SL Caldwell. Channel, I think.
ESCL.
Actually, I think it's Samara Amador if you're looking for the user, but yeah. So, yeah.
Okay.
Honestly, if they search HSD, they'll find it because it's tagged. So.
Right. I will also put up links so that you guys can see it. Lots of fun watching in there, and you'll see how different decisions were made over the course of the general evolution of the system, which is pretty different. Today we are catching up after I was gone for a week last week, so we're catching up on plot. We're also down a player, so we'll be a little conservative on overall action. You'll see some of the check mechanics in place. You probably won't see combat this week, but we'll run it next week likely and see some of that going in there too. And then tomorrow when I run videos for the Kickstarter, I can address some stuff if questions pop up, if anybody wants to know a little bit about the system, and talk about Sound and Silence a little bit, which is the currently running Kickstarter that you guys have successfully funded in a very brief period. Thank you very much. And we will check out some of the topics in that come tomorrow when I do an independent video to have a look at them. So a brief summary of our adventure so far. We have a bunch of people. 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to say 4, right? 5 characters? 5 characters.
5 characters total, yeah.
5 characters, yeah. All together. I never think of them in terms of numbers, so I can't keep track of which one we've got. We got 5 characters here who woke up suddenly at the beginning of our first episode and discovered that they had actually been revived from a death that took place fairly recently, but their most recent data backups, essentially for their brains and personalities, were 10 years old. And they have been kind of piecing together their lives that have taken place over the past 10 years whilst working for a secret organization run by TTI that is trying to retrain them to do the jobs they were doing before, which is tricky because the jobs they were doing before were very sophisticated and dangerous and required an awful lot of training to begin with. And they can't just leap right back into them because of the potential security risk they represent. So the characters have very little knowledge about what it is that killed them to begin with, other than it being a, quote, explosion that they saw. They're not entirely sure what caused it. They were told that it was caused by a hostile organization that was out to get them. They have been going through odd jobs trying to relearn past skills, which for our current rendition of characters are current skills because they didn't have those memories to begin with. They're recent clones, basically. And they have been finding piece by piece the parts of their stories that weren't necessarily handed to them when they woke up. So recently they have discovered that a previous team member that died during this explosion is actually still alive and may be kidnapped under a organization that is trying to turn her into part of a sort of large soldier program for unknown goals. They also discovered that one of their team members had a whole family that they weren't told about, including being married to a said team member that was still alive. And recently, Penny has been in contact with a being that is not of this world and is trying to get her to do things. So there's all sorts of fun stuff going on that we'll get into. In the most recent episode that just happened, the team has been linked up with somebody who used to work with their organization named Rio. Actually, the same Rio who was from the contract for Jan, if those of you who played First Edition and picked up that contract may be familiar with the character. This particular campaign that we're in takes place some 10 years later, so it's a little later on in her life.
I
but
flashed you on the screen.
No, don't do that. This is dangerous. And then
Oh my God, the neon is back!
She is currently working with us because she worked briefly with the organization before and was basically fired because she represented a security risk, although she hasn't really explained why. It was one of the mysteries that took place before. One of the things that we've been doing at the beginning of most of our episodes here is having flashbacks from logs from the handlers of our characters that help our players understand a little bit about what happened behind the scenes. And their character personas don't really know about them because the flashbacks aren't files or anything that they're finding. But it's giving our players an opportunity to hear a little bit about the relationships they had in these previous lives and start to piece things together on kind of a meta level.
I feel really sad.
And feel really sad as they discover that there were whole lives and character interactions that have since been lost. So
and some of us may not have gotten to stay on the job the entire time.
The entire time, right? So we have discovered that a few people that were actually dismissed because of potential security leaks, and the details of that are still forthcoming. Okay, so on that note, let's start off with a log. Since you guys have been asking for story time for a while.
Story time!
All right, so this is Aiden's log. This will take place about, I want to say 2 years ago, if I'm remembering everything correctly. It was the time basically right after Rio got dismissed for whatever it was that went wrong. So this is his personal log. Sent Rio back to Venus today. Pretty unceremonious. I was thinking commemorative t-shirt, right? Maybe a mug, something. No. Kicked to the curb. I felt pretty crappy about it. Sort of. Honestly, I'm not sure. I understand the situation to a degree. It's just the lack of support. It feels like a summary execution. We have this person who has this allegedly connection to a foreign power or entity that represents a tremendous security risk. She is apparently in regular contact with this entity, and what's more, cannot actually prevent this entity from contacting her. Fine. That's a problem. That's something we can't have around the station. In a general sense, it might even be worth hunting down this foreign connection and removing it. Not an option here, but fine. There are mechanisms in place for similar situations. Except that as far as we know, she is not actually the lens through which this particular Nephilim sees, if it can see anything at all. We don't know what the nature of its perception is or how it gets around. We don't know for certain that sending her away will actually get rid of it at all. We're just reacting. And when I mention this to the old man, I get back some response like, a determined criminal can break into any house, but that doesn't mean you leave the front door open for them, which is all well and good in a metaphorical sense, but it's a bit whimsical for the current situation. I don't blame it. I don't. It makes sense. We have such a sensitive asset here. It can't be risked for the sake of protecting an employment of a good agent. It is best to distance them, but it grinds against so much. It's the exact opposite of what we're taught to do in transcendent research. You don't assume connections like this, and you really don't throw them away. Assuming there's anything actually lasting about this connection to begin with, which I might add would be a first, since the Nephilim tend to leave their vassals in twisted piles of bone when they're done with them. So if it does turn out to be lasting, then it's either a very rare occurrence we should be really documenting, or there was never an issue to begin with, and I'm out yet another good engine. You know what I'm actually miffed about? It's not losing Rio. Whatever. If she's still alive in 3 years or so, then this whole mess is probably a false alarm and we can get her back. It's the knowledge that on some level of TTI, this decision makes sense despite the obvious loss we're taking. Meaning that even though I'm currently in the captain's chair of one of the most expensive operations in the company, handling a one-of-a-kind asset, there's still shit I don't know about. I'm turning what, 72 this year? I've been at this since I was 17. And somewhere up there in the spear, there's a group of who knows what, probably half my age, who have still decided there's shit I shouldn't know. That ends the log.
Da, da, da. Poor Aiden.
In
He's
the
gonna be
meantime,
so sad here in a minute.
in the meantime, you guys are recovering from what was just a rather ferocious attack on the building that you were set to defend. You managed to scare off your assailants, did a pretty good job of stopping it, although it has sustained substantial damage. It is creaking. It is probably not at immediate risk of falling over, but there may be collapses within it that are dangerous to the people. You're not totally out of harm's way yet. That was their big attack that they were scheduled to do. Sorry for their hot zone, but this is probably worth noting for anybody who drops into the stream. My connection is always flimsy as crap, so at any given point I could disappear for a little bit and then have to come back in. But the assault that took place has concluded, which means they shouldn't be back in force, but they could have left things behind. They could have left bombs. They could have left additional traps. Anything that they got a chance to do that wasn't necessarily seen. Probably check the areas and stuff. So there's some securing to take place. In addition to that, you just lost a character. Penny was rocketed through the floor via some sort of high-speed propulsion system none of you knew she had. She didn't know she was necessarily willing about it. She didn't actually tell anybody about you, but there was a hamster-sized hole traveling up through about 16 stories and heading off on an arc in the distance. Rio had told a few of you guys to go kind of map out where that was and see if you can track down where she landed and how it is she managed to do this to begin with, because there wasn't supposed to be a weapon on site that could propel a projectile, much less a person, in that particular way.
I sense the air quote there.
and beyond that, you also took a pretty serious hit with Tisa. So Tisa, out of character, for those of you watching, used a new mechanic in 2.0 called a rescue in order to keep her character from being destroyed in a situation that should have destroyed her. So this is a new narrative tool that is around for people who want to preserve their characters. It's not completely reusable. You have a limited number of them. But if you find yourself in a spot where bad luck or just an unfortunate situation has terminated your story early and you really want to keep it going, you can use this rescue to keep your character from dying. And we just sort of write the narrative so that they can get away with it. In this case, she used a rescue too. Yeah, she used a rescue, which triggered another little event that Penny was already working on and moved it forward a little bit. And Penny ended up taking out her assailant by means of her otherworldly contact rocketing her through several stories of a building.
And several ceilings and probably.
Yeah, so.
A couple different atmospheres, I'm not sure.
Penny's fate is as yet unknown, but Tisa is alive but heavily injured. So since our player is currently missing today, she's not feeling well. Tisa will be recovering for today's event. So she is a entelomorphic character and is kind of bubbling in a corner right now, trying to put herself back together. But as far as anybody knows, yeah, she's in her Oda bucket, trying to put herself back together. So you guys should decide what it is that you want to prioritize.
All right, Sam.
I was thinking we'd go get donuts.
Yeah, all right. So Penny wants to get donuts.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
What were you gonna say, Hatdan? Sorry, I interrupted.
No, that's I was actually going to jokingly ask.
It's like, okay, so among the players, Sam, what do you think we should do? Well, I think gravity's an important part of my life, and I'd like to have it again someday, but in little amounts, not all at once.
So BB has the urge to get coffee and donuts for some reason.
Well, I
he's
think you guys
awake.
were going to go looking for me, right? Because Toberius did a lot of work figuring out trajectory based on what he thought of how far out I was going to go. You guys also know only one person from their team got away, but we do know that the other building is like Fort Knox, if you guys want to try to attack it. But
I just say we go out, buy a bunch of freaking D-res, just fill the cars with it, and just ram the building.
You mean what they already did?
Yeah, that's what they did to your building.
Oh yeah, except this time I'd be able to hit with all the cars.
Yeah, because they're down to one person right now.
The cars themselves are decaying. So these were rental vehicles. They're falling apart. They were they only designed to last a day. Most of them had D-res in them.
And also
so
they had D-res splashed all over the inside.
Yeah, you have a mess, is what you have. It's going to take some cleanup, but there aren't very many functional vehicles left. And if they are, they're not going to last long.
Vehicles.
Yeah, you'd have to try to arrange new ones. It's a bit of a process. It would probably take longer. They likely plan this out in advance.
I mean, one thing you can do is confirm that all the assets are okay, that you didn't lose anything. If you're going to do search and rescue on Penny, you can try and do that.
Yeah, so Rio is there, and she's trying to basically organize a few things for what needs to happen. We do need to find out where Penny is, she says. BB, what's the deal with the floor down below? You said it was falling apart?
Oh yeah, it's not looking terribly good. I've got some things trying to hold it up, but if that res thing is gonna keep going, then we might be out of floor soon.
Okay, so we'll get some engineers in from outside and have them start showing that up. I also want to make sure that all the civilians we still have are all right. Do a quick body count, and then actually what we need to do first is register the attack so that they'll attempt to
raise a hand.
Of the 4 you have, yes.
I got one.
You got one
Body.
Oh, thank you, BB. She says, kind of pausing for a moment, having forgotten that this is a different character that she'd really talked to 8 years prior.
So we should definitely find Tisa.
Yeah, well,
right,
Tisa.
Over there, eh?
Yeah, Tisa will stay here. We'll get the engineers to have a look at her. And she's already basically putting in calls for external asset repair to start showing up and shoring up the building. The big question now is whether or not we're going to attempt anything to prevent it. I don't think we had the manpower to do anything serious, but it would be nice to ensure that they have something to deal with for a little while.
Well, we should probably find Penny. So, Drac, do you want to say hi to our friends?
Which friends are you talking about?
You know, the ones who came over and said hi.
Yeah, the leader has retreated. If not attacking right now is not priority.
I want to believe that at that point BB's like raising both arms on one side and going, "Oh, hi there."
You lost both of those. They exploded.
No, they unraveled.
Oh,
remember?
my
They're in piles and still here.
They are. There's an occasional finger that lifts up, kind of wiggles. Hi there.
Sev, as part of my trajectory test, how high did she go?
You don't know the overall velocity, so it's really tough to determine, but it would be several miles. It was pretty, I mean, unless she suddenly changed speed, based on how aggressively she exited the building, she went pretty high.
I'm actually listening into flight traffic control.
Like air traffic control to try to find out if anything.
Oh, like they're gonna notice a bird hitting a window. Jeez.
No, but
there's probably a
plane whose wings got clipped.
You are living in an area where a lot of the birds that fly are actually, people. So they do look out for that sort of thing.
And also, there's probably a little frigate out there that just got clipped with a very angry ferret inside, screaming and yelling and sizzling her cockpit.
That would be very convenient, but no. Go ahead and do a. Let me bring up your character sheet really quick here because I don't have Roll20 right in front of me. There it is. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, do a mind perceive and we'll say protocol to see if anything popped up.
Mind perceive protocol. Okay, let's roll 2D, 3D, 3D10. 3D12 plus 2, and it's simplified.
Cool.
Nice.
There you go. You're fine. Okay, pretty good. There was a report of something that went through very quickly that was unregistered, went up, and then came down on the far south side of the city.
Okay, I have a good idea of where her trajectory is now.
So we're going to get her, right?
Oh, Toberius is just coming out, going by Rio, baked potato in hand, just going, "Hey, boss, I found Penny. I'm going to go collect her." And he just keeps going out to a car.
Yeah, you got to grab a car first.
Well, he has
so are you guys going to go along? We do have a shortage of people, so I guess we can't necessarily split teams evenly, can we? Yeah, because 2 of them are out. Yeah. So you should probably find out if we're going to be doing any degree of counterattack or not. Rio's gonna look around at what's available here and says, I don't think we have the people for it. Not anymore with Tisa and Penny both out of this. So let's focus our attention on finding Penny. All 3 of you go. I'll stick around here and take care of the cleanup and make sure that we don't have any lingering pests.
It's probably a good idea.
Are you sure about that? I'm fairly certain I can bring Penny back. Well, what's left of her, anyways.
According to my last report, the last time you were in a car, you actually crashed it into a person and failed to hurt them. She says, with a smirk, as you toppled a Zamboni on top of yourself.
Oh, that's right. She would have my report.
Because she had done his report.
He just spins on heel, walks back up to her, even though he's tiny compared to her, just looks up and goes, "We don't talk about that," and turns around and starts walking away.
She's gonna not.
Has reconsidered his decision to look for Penny because she's a narc.
This is why she wants to send other people with you, because she's convinced you're gonna just get rid of the narc.
She'll tell BB to go along. Drac, you can stay or go. I can use the extra hand, but you may actually be difficult to fit in the car. So
I will stay and help for now if you need help.
all right, let's go down and check out that floor.
Hey, Drac, go walk across the first floor. It'll be great.
Be a little cautious about that.
Toberius is actually stopping on a hill, turning back at Rio. Oh, Rio, since we're in a hot zone, we're allowed to take gear, right? Just in case of another attack on agents out in the field.
You can bring your equipment with you, yeah.
Cool. Big old rifle gets stuck into the back of the car.
As they're doing that, actually, Draco, "Oh, by the way, man, I squashed drop minigun somewhere in the vicinity of," and he'll kind of gesture in the area of the smear.
Well, eyes go big. "Would you be so kind as to collect that for me?"
Do you want me to bring it along?
No, I need to look at it, make sure it's operable. Those things are notoriously finicky.
Oh, you know what? Drac's gonna get to be there when the TTI people come to poke at my living creatures. Yeah.
All right, BB.
Yes.
To the and we need to come up with a name for a car. Anyways, to a car.
Really, our car is just one of the random cars you're getting.
Are we gonna get coffee on the way, or should I bring some?
Bring
you
some.
actually, as you're walking out, remember you're in the the ultra coffee place. So there is a dispenser behind the front desk, which is all crunched and stuff, but the actual machine is still there, glowing.
Now, when you say dispenser, like how large?
It's like a vending machine, basically.
Oh, okay.
So you can get a cup
I'm
there.
not going to carry it with me.
No, you have to actually release it.
Okay, I grabbed 4. That's good, right?
As you purchase it, it asks, do you want standard coffee or round coffee? Round coffee is more expensive.
Of course, I'm getting round coffee for 2 of them and standard coffee for the other 2. It's only polite to have a variety for those who you were sharing with.
It's a preference thing.
Yeah.
You get 2 of the round coffees. You find that they actually still have the BB copyright stamp there on the front there. It's got your glorious picture of you holding a round coffee. That actually has a picture of you smiling, holding a round coffee, which has a picture on the coffee mug of you smiling, holding a round coffee, etc. It's very high resolution. You can go like several layers deep.
I wonder how they got that picture.
I know you've never been so photogenic. You've got a similar one for your IRPF badge, and it's not nearly so well lit. Although you were holding coffee in that one as well.
My aunt used to tell me I was photogenic, but I told her I'm perfectly happy to have photos taken of me.
I thought you were gonna say I was perfect. I used to tell her I was BB.
That would have been a good one
Oh,
too.
she knew that.
I used to tell her I was Moose. Okay, so yeah, you guys can hop out there and snag a vehicle. You can find one, I think, of the crowd that isn't completely crunched in. It's got
Does it do the thing where it like drags its exhaust and it's just like leans to one side?
It's not happy. I mean, they're clean burning and stuff, but it's not a it's not a happy looking vehicle.
Oh no, it's not clean burning anymore. As we're driving, the muffler's dragging occasionally. It backfires, causing everyone to scatter.
There's a little alerts inside the rental vehicles that basically say how much longer its lifespan is. It's almost like a fuel gauge because it has enough fuel to last for its lifespan. But you can see that it's dangerously low, like based on damage that it's taken. It's having to burn up its own chemical fuel to basically hold its welds together. So you're not going to get much more than a few more hours out of use of this car before it gels.
There and back.
And traffic is a bit of a mess right now too. But Rio may be able to help clear you a path if you could figure out exactly where you're going.
Well, they said the south side of the city, and with my calculations, I can probably narrow it down just a little bit.
Mm.
Because
Do a mind exert and logic.
Logic's my thing.
Yes.
Svee, can you remind me whose territory we're in?
This one, I mean, the city itself is owned by many people. So it's a Marsco overall ownership, but the zone that you're in right now is kind of a few folks. So it's just kind of public street. Because
Okay.
the buildings that you're around right now are mostly independent. That's why these guys were here.
Well, that's not a bad roll considering.
Yeah, 211's there.
Yeah, you're fine. So yeah, you've got a pretty good route that you can get, and then Rio can call in a favor or two and see if she can get your route cleared out.
So we're just gonna be on moseying down.
Okay. Actually, we'll hold off on you for a second. These are there. There's that. Okay, Drac. Drac, you are around trying to kind of assess the damage. This place is pretty beat up. You feel like a few of the second-story floors are sagging too because they've gotten splashed pretty hard. So it's mostly just the internal supports that are holding floors up, but there are gaps in between them. It's like you can see the struts of the building. It feels like shaky footing for somebody who's as large as you. So you're having to keep an eye on that. But Rio will make her way down the stairway before telling you, I don't think you should really walk down this. Can you get down from the outside?
Okay.
And you're not under duress or anything, so you can just kind of drop yourself
Yeah,
down.
I was gonna say Drac will go out the window.
Go out through the same exit you made earlier. There's still a
Yeah.
smashed corpse on the ground, and an expensive-looking gun. It's kind of banged up, though.
He'll take it.
Okay.
It's
You
like
can
somebody
pull it
dropped a
in.
bear on it.
Yeah. It couldn't bear the weight, so you brought it in, and it might be fixable. It's going to need some tuning. You definitely don't want to fire it in its current condition, but it's there. You can put it aside for now. And she will kind of have a look and kind of hold her hand out, going, "All right, don't follow me out on this right now. This looks pretty messy." She'll prod it a little bit with some stuff. I think the floor has solidified, but it's probably only a few inches thick here. Let's work on getting the cars out. Go ahead and do
Rick, okay, sick.
go ahead and do a body exert and athletics. Cool. Did you have a simplify on that?
I do not.
Okay, so that's your. Oh no, that's a natural 10. Okay, you're fine. All right, so yeah, you can start moving vehicles out of the way. You'll just drag them. They're being the size that you are. You don't need to lift them over your head or anything. You'll just pull them out and start getting the weight off the ground there. So the only thing that we need to do is make sure that you don't go falling in at some point. So let's do let's say body exert and subterfuge, just to see if you can stay light on your feet.
And somehow we don't make a bear-sized hole, but only
barely pass. So yeah, you were able
Barely,
to.
you said.
I do. I can make those now because we might have people listening.
Good job, Twinkle Toes.
You were able to pull the car out, and you're feeling like the floor is. You can hear more echoes from below than you should from a regular sized floor, so it's very unnerving. It's like stepping on wax paper, but you're able to get it through there, as a few more pieces kind of collapse. And while you're doing that, there's a whole group of people that are coming in with emergency crews. There are some folks coming in from Marsco recycling divisions that have big tanks on their back. It's basically like spray material so that they can hose down a new floor pretty quickly and make it strong before they actually replace it. And they'll get in there and start kind of caking the ground with additional material to shore it up. And then behind them, a few moments later, Rio actually goes to meet these people, are some agents wearing TTI badges on them. And they don't look sinister, but they do look kind of specially dressed, right? Like these are not just sort of people that came up from the local TTI representative's office. These are actually scientists from their division. And they have a brief conversation with Rio and then head for the elevator. And she'll come back and check up with you. So, did we get them all out?
It looks like.
Okay. And she's looking out at the kind of mess that was outside and nods a little bit and says, this could have gone a lot worse. It was messy, but they put a pretty big front on this.
Yeah, we do not have many deaths on our side. In fact, I don't think any.
No, well, she chuckles a little bit and goes, well, let's wait until we find out how Penny's doing. I think Tisa is going to make it. We have some engineers having a look at her right now, but it's going to be a while to recover from that attack, and I don't know what happened here. And she's going to look up through the hole leading out through the ceiling that looks like somebody took a railgun to the top of the building and sent her off to the distance. Speaking of the distance and going it, this is a mandatory cake reference for the evening. Toby,
Are we
you
going
back
for
yet?
speed?
We are. Toby, when'd you get back? I think something's probably happening on site. Yeah.
He's back.
He's probably got something happening on site. All right. Well, BB's with him. BB, go ahead and do a body exert or body perceive and search, rather.
Okay, if you're sure. As soon as, geez, All the tabs are hiding on me.
Do it.
You can do it.
Body perceive. An 11, a 13, and 2 crappy ones.
It looks to me like all your dice are red. They must have all failed. That's how it works. They're all red.
Going after him
If
because
they
of the
weren't
Canadian
red,
pride.
then how would you know what the dice result was?
Yeah, you have to read them.
I did it. Oh, God. Anyway, yeah, so you're all right. You catch a glimpse of a hole in a building as you're driving by. It just kind of catches you out of the corner of your eye. You're traveling forward down the road, and he's driving along trying to figure out, where it is you should be heading. And you just notice that there is a broken window, and it's broken in a particular fashion, making it look like somebody chucked a basketball through it.
Well, that broken window over there, we should probably check her out.
Okay. And unfortunately, Toby is off checking stuff out currently, so I can't have him respond. But the break is high up. It's up by about like 20 stories. And as you continue down the road to find a place to U-turn, essentially, you see a similar break another story down. So she appears to be on a downward trend coming out the back end of the building, and a similar entry on the building next to it, about 8 stories down. And following that one, there isn't one. So somewhere in building 3, she appears to have stopped traveling.
Oh, so she went downwards and out the back of a couple buildings, eh?
Yeah, she went through a couple and apparently landed in the last one.
See, at some point, I think Toberius and BB would have that moment of, do we really want to see what's left?
Oh, obviously she'll be fine. She went through there.
It is remarkable tensile strength for your average hamster. They probably should have, exploded on the contact with the first building, but somehow she's managed to travel through several.
Well, let's investigate that one place, eh?
Okay, I'm going to give you kind of moderate control over Toby here because we don't know how long he'll be gone.
Oh no, he's going to crash the vehicle.
No, this is done, and then you all go get coffee and donuts.
No, and I like to think is while he's trying to find some place to park, he gets it parked, and then like the tires just give out on the vehicle.
I'm back.
Oh,
There we
good,
go,
you're
okay.
back.
Hey.
Sorry,
Toby-
I had a customer who's about to go over on time, and I just wanted to let them know.
Ah, okay.
So what's up?
You discovered entry wounds to a building at a downward angle. You also discovered exit wounds on the building and entry wounds to the next building and exit wounds on that one. And then finally, about 8 stories up on a third building, you see a broken window that doesn't have an exit. So she is somewhere about the 8th floor on this last building.
So long as that's actually her.
Yeah, either that or
Well-
somebody chucked a really big rock.
Yeah, well, heading on in.
Okay.
So in the building, in the vehicle, I like your style.
The building is currently on security lockdown. As you approach it, looks like it's some kind of bank. The guard says, oh, "Listen, we just had an attack. We're not letting anybody in right now. It might not be safe."
We're here to actually investigate that. We think we might know what it is, and it might have been a situation from another hot zone.
We could probably help. Would you like a coffee, by the way? I got round and not round.
Oh, you got the. I haven't even tried this yet. This is from the new place. Listen, we need to make sure nobody goes in here without. Do you have any identification? Who are you with?
What was that coffee company's name?
And I'm just going to hold up the coffee with the picture of me.
Okay, do a community exert and communication.
All right.
Go ahead and
I want
simplify
this
it.
to work
Community
so
exert.
badly because I want this to be BB's new thing.
Yeah, community exert and communication
I'm
and simplify it
willing
if you
it
haven't
from
already.
beyond the
All right,
void.
it's already simplified.
Okay, so you have an automatic 8.
So
Let's do it. But the one
10.
cancels out the 13, but he still has a 12.
Yeah, he still has a 12 and the 8 that's in it. So yeah.
Well, actually,
you
the
hold
simplify it doesn't cancel out. He gets the 13 and the 12.
So yeah, you're solid. You got 3 there. The guy goes, well, I mean, that's not really identification per se, but I guess I have somebody to blame if something goes wrong. He says, casually taking the coffee and then handing you a pen to sign said coffee.
Oh, okay. And I go to sign the coffee?
He kind of lifts the mug as you're advancing, so there's this moment of you're attempting to get to the top and he's lifting it so that you get to the side, and you're trying to go for the top and he's lifting it. It goes up about a foot over the course of things.
And then I shrug and just sign the bottom of the cup.
he appears a little dumbfounded and says, all right, so do I tell them you're with who?
Well, I'm with him.
And I'm with him.
I'll just write that down then.
Trust us, we'll find what we're looking for and we'll be out of your hair real quick.
Oh,
So
we shouldn't even be in your hair. That shouldn't be a problem.
He's not sure if he wants the signature anymore. You're getting inside.
That's why you never meet your heroes.
Penny's gravest mistake.
No, I'm just thinking of that one freaking comic with the heroes of Azeroth. Aren't you a hero? I want to be just like you. Hey, is there any experience in this event or what? So you get inside, and the place does appear to be locked down. Not too many people inside of it right now. Just sort of security keeping people out. Once you're through the front, they appear to not bother you much. You can get to the elevators.
Going up.
All right. In the meantime, Penny, you are shaking your head, trying to come out of a woozy state. You were recently propelled up through several stories via a unexpected twist when you requested help of Traveler, and that one too.
His name
Visitor.
changes.
It does on occasion. When it's been 2 weeks and I can't remember what I named him.
Mm-hmm.
You get up, you wake up and pull yourself out of this slump, and you feel pretty beat up, but oddly not broken, just sort of like dusty and a little strained. And the room is quiet. There's nobody in there. It's dark. It looks like some lights are flickering. It definitely looks like a different design from the building you were in before. You don't really recognize anything in it.
The last thing I remember was Aiden saying Penny. So I'm just kind of looking around like, Aiden, are you here?
No response.
Visitor, are you here?
No immediate response, but you do kind of feel this tension in that you sort of identify as it's almost like trepidation, because to say that he was here would be to commit to a very many physical laws that he's not prepared to commit to.
Oh.
You feel something though, so he may be present in some way.
Nobody stays around at all. Okay. Everybody leaves Penny. She's gonna.
I like to imagine that's all just a kind of half and half mumbling it.
That's just like the half and half mumble of it. Everybody leaves Penny. Nobody stays around with Penny. Well, she's gonna start fumbling for her toggle, I guess, if she can find something working or a light. Where the hell did I end up?
You will pull yourself out of the mess of tables and stuff that have gone through with this shockwave that got knocked out of the way. You're not entirely sure. You have this kind of vague idea that you were propelled in some way, there seems to be an exorbitant amount of damage in here for what you kind of consider yourself capable of doing. So you're not seeing any other bombs or anything, so there's nothing to inherently blame, but it's just sort of like that I, knock all these desks to the far side as I came careening through here. You figure you probably should have taken more damage.
Yeah.
She's Urkeling at this point.
There's an ancient reference. As you pull yourself up on top of the desks, though, you are greeted with a new sight that is very different. It's familiar, but it's not something that you have seen before particularly. And you recognize immediately that this is some sort of physical manifestation of the thing that has been essentially behind you all this time. And he's very large, or it is very large. Doesn't really fit in the room very well. Actually seems to be distorting the room upward. So it's sort of like if he's some 20 feet in height or something.
It's actually a sudden relieved sigh at seeing him.
That the building is kind of tenting upward, distorting around his character. And he's not standing; he's actually sitting. It's like a Zen-like posture, but it's very difficult to get a full-on perception of his exact anatomy because it fluctuates depending on what it is he's doing at the time. Like he's got two hands in front of him that are kind of held in an idle state, but he's also got hands that are reaching out to other things, and he's got additional limbs that seem to pass out of your view as they travel, like they're reaching
onward
into
forever.
Sectors that are not visible, and they'll come back and stuff like that. So at any given point, it seems like he's got a dozen different arms that are doing things, but they're not moving quickly. And anytime you try to focus on them, they will occasionally leave. The overall body shape is one of a thin humanoid that is somewhat nondescript in its flesh pattern. It doesn't look like it's soft. It looks like it's kind of humanish, but the face is kind of flat and absent. And there isn't a eye to speak of. There's like no. He seems to lack any degree of sensory perception in terms of physical sense beyond this multitude of hands. That are kind of feeling around and touching things, and one of them is grabbing the desk and kind of caressing it, and a few of them are finding the floor. He just sort of seems to be probing the area, but there's no other input beyond that, at least that you can see. He looks toward you, and if he can be seen as looked, and he says, "I have helped."
Yes, you did help. Are you okay?
There isn't an immediate response to that because he isn't really sure how to qualify it.
You are not stressed or injured in any way?
I'm not certain I can be.
Okay. I'm surprised I'm not. That probably should have killed me. Good job. I think that was kind of amazing. Wish I had the numbers on that. That was incredible.
Which numbers do you desire?
I mean, how would you propelling that? I mean, what the speed I was going, the distance I traveled. Where the hell are we?
And he pauses for a minute, and you get this kind of feeling of yes, those would be good numbers to have. Like he agrees that those would be nice numbers. He doesn't provide them. He doesn't give you a list or anything like that.
I kind of go, I'll try to get those numbers for us, okay? I think it would be good for both our notes, all right? Because I'd like to know these things too.
I do not have full comprehension of propulsion.
I don't either. It wasn't I'm
Go fast, make zoom.
I'm not the kind of scientist that probably should be teaching you anything. I don't actually know if that's what you need, but
is your body adequate?
I don't know. But I have a question for you. Do you know if Tisa's okay? Did we help her?
It is again flummoxed by language. But
you said she was going to be killed. Did we prevent that?
He ponders for a moment and says, "I do not have detection of that area, but I believe it would have been impossible."
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, no matter what, anything happens, I just want you to know, I'm really glad you're around. You're so much more interesting than regular life. Okay, well, I gotta figure out where the hell I am.
Ding.
Man, I would give you like the biggest hug right now, but I'm pretty sure I'll die.
I'm physically present.
Huh?
I am not physically present.
I know, I'm pretty sure that's not something we're compatible with, and I don't even know if you know what a hug is.
As the door opens behind him, Toberius, you and BB can come through, and you'll see Penny sitting on the desk, basically looking fairly well for the wear, if a little dusty.
Well, that's kind of unexpected. I was going to be coming out that door going, Penny, are you alive? If you're not, don't say anything, but Penny, you're alive!
Yeah. Just a glitch. You know me. I'm always...
glitch.
Yeah,
you know how much property damage you have caused.
Oh.
We need to get out of here, now.
Are you okay? Do you need coffee? I forgot donuts, but I got coffee.
I wish I could have the property damage totals.
Do you know where we are? I need to get the measurements. This is kind of important.
We're on the opposite side of the city.
Okay, do you have, like, GPS location? Can you come right here? This is about where I came in at when I woke up, so get right here. So you can't stand right here and get the GPS coordinates, so...
I have your trajectory all mapped out.
Oh, good. Can you share that with me? I really, really need to have those numbers.
Yeah, let's get out of here first. I think the guard downstairs is...
Alright, can I walk out, or do I need to do something? I'm kind of looking to these two for that answer.
Scoop, let's go.
Oh, well, you should be okay. They seem like nice people.
Okay.
Yeah, but he's also.
I'm actually gonna turn on
the
the chameleon display, and I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna hide in Toberius's backpack. I'll go full stealth on this. Nope, not there.
I like how you turn on the cloaking system and then hide within an object.
Well, that way they'll open it. They'll look in and go, oh, nothing there, and then they'll go away.
It's not that good.
Shut up!
So,
yeah, it'll be fine.
She's got some really good stealth rolls.
That's actually more inherently suspicious than if you turned it off and just looked like you were hiding under a blanket.
Yeah.
It's my child. Jeez.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Penny, you managed to get some excellent airtime.
Yeah, they said, just a few little glitches, you know, me, I'm not,
Aircraft control is still trying to correct things.
You know, crazy Penny, doesn't know what she's doing.
How'd you do that, by the way?
Tisa was in trouble and I got really upset and I wanted to help her because the guy on the roof was gonna kill Tisa because she was out and they were, and I just couldn't let it happen and I think I killed him.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
There were some legs sitting there.
Oh.
But not much else.
Oh.
Would you like to have the body returned?
Yeah, Penny, you got that kill flat out. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. And
no,
Penny's gonna just kind of quietly say, "It's a shame the rest of that body hasn't come back down yet. It would be really nice if it did."
Penny, you guys are in the elevator, right? I thought. Right?
Yeah.
Or you got in. So at that point, there will be a thump behind you, and the rest of the body is there, having fallen from God knows where. There's literally half a torso, a severed spine, body.
A very shocked face.
A rather shocked face, and ripped, torn, and it is there, bleeding in the elevator, as fresh as can be.
Oh, I guess that's where it is.
Okay. The hell!
It was a closed elevator, by the way.
You know,
No!
Ding! It opens on the ground floor. 3 of the security guards looked over.
Hi, we found what we were looking for. I'm grabbing the body by the head, or what's left, and dragging it out.
Oh, hi there.
One of them looks over and vomits. 2 more pull their guns and are just, Jesus, what the hell are you doing? Stay right there, don't move.
Is he okay?
Well, actually, we want to kind of get this guy back to the other Hot Zone's corporate headquarters, so if he has a res contract, they can fulfill it.
What the hell is going on? Why is there a bot? What is that?
There was a glitch with a weapons fire during a Hot Zone incident. It kind of pushed him into low orbit.
Do a community exert in communication. And then ask the rest of your party why you're the face.
I'm not the face.
I'm not there. I wasn't with you guys.
Oh, you're hiding in a backpack.
I'm hiding in a backpack.
Okay, so go magic low dice roll. Oh wait, no, I can't even roll that correctly because that doesn't have that. Oh god, no.
Oh.
Oh no. No.
No.
You're gonna need to stay right here. You're gonna need to stay right there when we get the police to come over here and just don't move, okay? Don't move.
I'm gonna I'm using my toggle to send a message to Rio. Toberius put his foot in his mouth. Send help. I don't know where we are.
No, I actually told the truth.
Oh yeah. He did tell the truth. He didn't lie.
I did not lie, which is going to save our ass.
But you
that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
BB, do you want to attempt to weasel out of this?
No, that's literally what I'm saying to their response of "we're gonna have to call the police." That's why I'm here.
He will pause for a second. You're gonna have to provide some proof though.
Oh, okay. Can you call my uncle then? He's usually pretty good at
He's gonna call the police. He's not gonna call your uncle's personal line. They put in a call to the local
would be a great person to call though.
And we'll have you guys just kind of stay against the wall for now, with the weapons drawn on you until they can get some stuff over. Penny, you sent a text to Rio, basically.
Yeah, I'm sending a text to Rio. I'm basically sending her a text of, "Hey, guess what? Still alive. In a building, torso. People think we did something bad." Toberius said, "I don't know what. He's pissed off the local security. They're calling the IRPF."
Well, did any of you want coffee? I've got a round one and 2 non-round ones left.
One of the guns wavers a little bit, but then hold still. It's really good coffee.
Donuts.
If you had the donuts, we'd be saved.
A few minutes later, there are some sirens outside and some people that come through, and like a little wince as they're sort of looking at it. But they come over to the guards and put the guns down. They go, "It's all right. We can corroborate their story. We had this report of this launch. It's a very unusual situation, but we'll take over from here." And they will sort of escort you out of the building if you'll let them.
Oh, hi there. Did you want coffee?
Yeah, no, take one of these.
Hell yeah.
They will take their coffees and go, "All right, so Rio gave us a call and let us know what was going on here. We're going to bring you back to where your base of operations was. What the hell happened to this guy?"
I'm not exactly sure. Something happened, and he got punched into orbit. He's the cause for the air traffic issues.
Oh, all right. Wow. All right. Well, we'll bring him back to the base and have the coroner look at him and.
Well, actually, I'm just being the nice guy here, but his head looks relatively intact. He might have a res, so if you can call, do we know the name of the other company?
We might, but it was 2 weeks ago. I can't pull it off the top of my head.
Yeah, I'm just throwing out the name of the company. Yeah, he was part of the assault team, so he might have a res contract. Let them know so they can res him, because I'm just being the nice guy here and making sure he can come back.
It'll be in his ID. We'll check it when he gets to HQ.
I think it's a precinct. We put him in cold storage.
Yeah,
The
when they put him
coroner
in
might
storage.
want to do a bit more than just look at him, because you know he might find some more interesting stuff. Otherwise,
Oh, you're a BB.
Oh, hi there.
Hey, how did you like? This is great. He says, sipping his wrong coffee. I knew your uncle. I actually took a class with him.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, he was good at what he did.
Yeah,
Uncle
he's
Dudley or
definitely good.
Yeah.
good old Corporal Winkle.
They will bring you back to the main HQ. At this point, Drac, or they bring you back rather to the building that you were in the first place. Drac, your engineering team has kind of put the floor back together, at least to the point that you can walk on it without worrying about it too much. And Rio is now down below, and you can join her to actually check the stock. And the two CEOs that were there are also down with the two of you, making sure that things got out okay.
They still have that communication thing in the basement that we found before, don't they?
Yeah. So that was a link up to basically a spyglass ship that allows you to fly it. And you do take note that the one of the guys, I think it was the Raven, has gone over there to check to make sure that it's all right. And you bugged it, right?
Rio bugged it. She put a peep on it. I was going to put a peep on it, but Rio thought it would be better if Drac didn't contact anybody else since he contacted her directly, and that she come down and do it. So she went and did it.
She put on it. So let's find out if this guy notices it. He's pretty sneaky.
He is a subterfuge guy.
Yeah.
Svi against Svi in the ultimate battle.
I can never do that, right?
The not so ultimate showdown of not so ultimate destiny.
There we go. Oh, that's pretty good.
Test of his stealth.
And let me see how well she actually hit it. Let's do the same one to keep it even. Yeah, he'll find it. Okay, so as he's poking around, he picks off a small object and whistles over to the other CEO, who comes over and looks at it. They kind of look at it together for a second and exchange a few glances, and he puts it on the floor and crunches it under a shoe. Rio manages to hide her expression pretty well.
Pretty good about it.
Yeah, but you notice that they picked up on something. They seem to be assuming that it was done through the enemies, but he does immediately come over and says, you were down here a lot, right? Or down in this area a lot? He says, talking to Drac.
I was mostly over there upstairs, honestly. I was in the main floor and then up a couple of floors.
Did you see any of them get down here?
I am not sure. I know the Moose was down here more than I was.
Okay, we'll have to talk to him when he gets here.
Thanks for selling me down the river.
I mean, you were the one down
well,
there.
On the bright side,
Drac is being genuinely honest.
On the bright side, BB actually didn't know anything about that peep anyway, so.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, according to BB, nobody
actually
went down there.
Honest.
Yeah.
He was not down there.
Yeah.
Because I was on the main floor, and then 3 floors up, and then the main floor again, and then 3 floors up.
But there's no telling if they had been setting up some subterfuge days before to get like the drop on us.
Except that this guy probably checks this thing fairly often.
Probably.
So the BB and the rest of you guys will arrive roundabout now, but they are cautiously going over and they're having you guys fan out. And Rio is saying, okay, so if you found one monitor device, let's look around and see if we can find some others. Drac, if you want to check where you can reach, and we'll get everybody else to look too. So basically scan and see if they dropped anything else down here.
Body user perceive?
Mm-hmm. Or body perceive and search, rather.
So I gotta basically look for something I know is not there.
Well, I don't think you're out of the bag yet, are you?
Yeah, I'm not out of the bag yet.
They haven't let the hamster out of the bag.
Good news, Drac. You don't find anything.
I was gonna say I don't think I find shit, frankly.
Yeah. And then, so yeah, you guys will arrive. Penny, you can actually get out of the bag now if you want.
Yeah, I'll
Could
get
have
out
been
of
the
the
car,
bag.
I think.
Yeah, I'll get out of the bag once we get there. I'll wait.
Right. You are noticing a degree of surrealism to your overall existence now that is somewhat enhanced than before. Because now that you've kind of seen Visitor, he doesn't really seem to be vanishing so much. He's not really walking along you, alongside you or anything, but every once in a while you'll turn around and he'll be there doing something. And occasionally it's rather troubling. At this particular point, like before you saw him like sort of standing next to a building, just kind of feeling the building to get a feel for textures or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But moments ago he was doing the same to a person who didn't seem to notice.
Mm-hmm.
But it was very handsy, right? It felt like a...
He's got a lot of
I
hands.
make the joke saying, well, you know, he's not supposed to be doing that in public.
Yeah,
or in
but,
proper public when you're doing that, but you kind of made the masturbation joke for me at this point.
it had this definite feel from a social standpoint of it as a massive invasion of privacy, because they were just all over trying to basically get measurements as you would with
Yeah,
any sort of,
but basically
tool.
Penny's gonna be like turning beet red and looking shy at what the hell he's doing, because holy crap.
But it's also, there's a degree of personal fear involved because he's big. When he's standing, he's something like 30 feet tall. So there's this monstrosity that basically has complete control. You know, each of the hands is about the size of this person, and they have too many joints. They bend in odd places. Sometimes they're small ones, and you're not sure where they're coming from. But there's like apparently no escape from this grasp, and the person seems to be oblivious of it.
Mm-hmm.
Probably for the best.
Yeah. And then he will, you know, kind of fade out and go off to the next thing that he's doing. But it definitely seems to be in proximity to your location, and you get this sort of impression that this probably isn't new. It's just the first time you're seeing it. So there's a feeling kind of in the back of your head that, you know, chances are he's been doing this to a lot of people that have been around you for the past since you've come around to people.
Been a while.
And whether or not this is, you know, the extent of his interactions or not, is yet to be seen. So you'll get down inside and see that people are looking around, and then Rio will have this kind of relieved look on her face when she sees you and says, "So you made it? Where'd you go?"
Coordinates. I'll jam them out.
She's going to look at this and go, "This is 50 miles or like 20 miles away. Wow. You're all right?"
Yeah, just wipes more dust off. A little dusty. Table didn't do so good on re-entry, but you know.
I see.
Am I anywhere nearby?
Yeah, you should all be down here.
Neither of the three other buildings.
She.
To be fair, I don't remember anything after the first one.
Lets out a low whistle and goes, "This is going to be difficult to." All right, so we're going to look around here and finish reports and make sure that we can find out for sure that this place hasn't been bugged again. And then after that, we're going to need everybody to get out so that we don't contaminate the area, because we're going to have to prove to local IRPF that we didn't bring weapons of didn't bring massive weaponry here. So they're going to have to do a forensics report. Otherwise, we're going to have.
Penny's gonna flex and go, "I brought the guns."
No, you didn't. Don't say that.
Where did you bring them?
She didn't bring any guns. And the guy, yeah.
From the firing point that it would have to be at would be in the security room, and for a weapon, a weapon that to keep that body intact like that and to get it into orbit, it would have to be massive, and there's no way we could tear that thing down.
She just kind of went up, but she goes, "Yeah, I'm hoping that the lack of chemical explosions or high power outputs will exonerate us from this, but it is an awfully difficult thing.
Are my friends okay?
Well, the ones that you see in front of you, Tisa will survive, but she's recovering.
Oh yeah, those ones too. No, I knew Tisa was gonna be okay. I was just I was wondering if the I didn't know how they acted after I left suddenly.
Oh,
They fell apart.
Oh, poor things.
I think they're still there.
Oh,
who did?
There's two little guards I left to protect Toberius. I don't know if they actually helped you at all. I hope they did.
they were very polite,
Yeah.
except for the one that started screaming.
Well, he probably
Yeah, but it
was
screamed politely.
upset.
I'm sorry, A. Ah! Sorry about that. Ah!
Is there anything I can do to help Rio? I'm sorry.
Help the search here, and then TTI is going to want you up on the top level.
Oh, I hate going up there. The last time I went upstairs, it was very violent.
The top level of this building.
That's what I'm talking about.
It was only for a moment, but
I was there briefly. Okay, so yeah, what am I helping look for?
They're searching for bugs in this room, basically.
I'm gonna look at Rio and go, are we expecting more?
It is a. She says, just look.
Okay, I'm
So
saying
they're just sucking your finger
saying that in the way as somebody that she knows has a pile of peeps in her pocket.
She appears to be. It's going to be difficult to kind of like.
Gauge. Okay.
Yeah, do that with these other two people in the room because they're playing a dangerous game right now. And she says, hopefully they didn't get far.
Okay. I'll go look.
chainsaw soccer.
I'll go look.
Right.
I'm sorry, just a buttery chainsaw soccer.
He said they were playing a dangerous game.
Man,
Sounds
I wonder
like
if there's some employee here I want to get fired.
Out of a cannon into the sun?
No, I was just thinking, gosh, this guy's got a whole bunch of these peeps in his drawer. They're mysteriously this is
a wife and kids, Sam, and now this guy's gonna die.
Now
To
they're
be fair, I'll
firing him
probably
out of
end
the
up being
cannon
less
as
of a-
per their severance agreement.
To be fair, if I pick one that already died, no, none of them died. Damn it! Damn it! Damn it! Damn it!
Remember, you're technically working for the bad guys here.
Well, I mean,
Wait, what?
alright, so I'm just gonna go pretend to search as hard as I can. Occasionally talking to myself a little bit, just kind of having a little bit of a smile and stuff. I'm trying to like be really chill about this because I figure Penny is actually kind of elated about what just happened. That was really freaking cool from her perspective. It's terrifying that this thing, she can see it all the time and stuff now, but suddenly her life is like super magic fun time. This is what she, TTI is like all over this kind of stuff.
It was pretty nifty. So the search doesn't turn up much, as you might expect. Actually, no, there is stuff to find. Do your roll.
Okay, so what am I doing? Body perceive?
Yeah, body perceive and search.
Body perceive and search. That would be a 3, 12, 12, plus 4. Double, it's a simplify, I think.
Okay. You were able to kind of get around behind some stuff that you haven't seen before, and what do you got in
What do you want to know?
science?
Oh, I am gonna science the shit out of this. I have a boon and 4 ranks.
Okay, do a yeah, that'll be kind of fun. Do a mind perceive or mind exert in science. You find something down behind one of the large barrels of the coffee beans.
I'm smart. I'm smart. I'm
You
smart.
smarted it pretty heavily.
I smarted that hard.
You have a worry. You have a sudden scare because you encounter what you thought was a nymph, which at your size is always kind of alarming when they come sneaking up out of nowhere like that. It appears to be dead, but on closer examination, you realize that it's been killed. Looks like it's actually suffered various puncture wounds, likely killed by another nymph. But the anatomy on it is wrong. It's not like any particular nymphs have a specific set of anatomy that varies depending on what it is they need to fill at the time, but they're all pretty recognizable as the same creature. And this one isn't. It's some weird thing you haven't seen before. So somebody's personal creation, maybe. But if it is a actual bug, like a monitoring equipment, it might be some piece of biologic monitoring equipment. It appears to be dead, but it's different.
Okay, I'm gonna come packing this out, and I'm tabbing up for Rio. Rio.
She'll come over. Yeah. What have you found?
This is not right.
What is it? It's a nymph?
No, that's not a nymph. Trust me, at this level, you see them really close.
He goes, oh, some kind of custom.
Yeah, don't know what you want to do with it, but your problem now.
She
also, whoever sits at this desk needs to stop eating popcorn. There's a lot back here.
The one of the CEOs, the other guy. Can you remember what we had? We had one of them was Raven, and the other one was what?
Yeah,
I think it was a skunk,
it's Bear and Bird. Remember Bear and Bird?
Oh, it was Bear. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, right, he was a panda.
Yeah, it's Bear.
So yeah,
it was a vulture actually, and a. It was the vulture was the bird, and the yeah. Or it was a condor. That's right, condor. That's right.
So the
become honey bear and breed all.
The panda comes over and goes, what have you found? Give me that. And he takes it quickly, and Rio kind of gives him this look, and he just goes, it's nothing. We're not worried about this. And kind of goes back to the other guy quickly and takes it, and she gives him a look, but shakes her head at you, saying, don't pursue it. I'll have a look into that.
I'm gonna look for another
shortly. And he goes, no, it's something. That's interesting. We'll find out. Let's go back and secure the top floor really quick and just make sure that we're good, and I'll finalize what we're doing down here.
Okay.
So up near the top, you guys have a little bit of equipment that's been recovered from the various engineers that came away. There was that busted up heavy repeater that was there that you could probably scrap for parts or attempt to repair at some point. The armor's all pretty shot. The guy's legs are bagged up in a trash bag, basically, to take him out there. And then the TTI agents are coming down from the top.
Did we scrape the one guy off the road?
Yeah, they got him. They got what equipment was salvageable, and then the TTI guys are coming down with similar looking bags full of stuff. And along with them is Smith. Actually, has not yet left the planet because you guys are moving pretty quickly.
Oh.
And he goes, Penny, it's good to see you. I heard that you had left.
No, just a quick low orbit jaunt. Nothing important.
He nods a little bit and says, "Can I talk to you about these?"
Yeah. Are they doing okay? I was kind of worried about them.
Well, I was going to ask you. They're very unfamiliar to us.
Oh,
They look a little bit like, him. And he says, pointing at BB.
Oh, yeah, they things.
What looks like me?
Well, I mean, they kind of don't anymore. That's kind of sad. Oh man, did security footage get anything on those?
Yeah, we have a few tapes that we've tapes. We have a few recordings that we've already removed from the system here for further examination. But it's very curious results, Penny. They don't typically do this.
Yeah, I think I had a little bit of a misfire. That kind of added to. I'm looking over at the rest of the group. Kind of added to my trajectory, I think, issues. I can go over that with you in more detail.
He nods and says, we've gone through a brief examination here, but I'd like to put them in, if you're all right with it, in your presence for a little while and see if any sort of reaction occurs.
Oh, okay, sure.
I understand it's a little bit macabre, but we'll set it up on the.
Oh no, it's fine. It kind of gives me a good chance to say goodbye. I kind of get sentimental about these kind of things. So.
he nods a little bit, and then we'll head out and says, if any of you have any further business on the ship, we have about one more day here before we're leaving.
And when you say we're leaving, you mean you're leaving, right?
Yeah, he's taking his ship and
Yeah,
leaving.
he's taking his ship. Okay. It's making sure we're not leaving, because I was gonna be like, no, we have Rio, we can't leave.
Yep.
Okay.
And he as he's exiting, he kind of gives this nod to Rio, and then she nods back, and there's a Rio Smith, and there's a definite coldness there that takes place before he kind of leaves. They don't growl at each other or anything, but it was a brief exchange that passed.
And he's just kind of like not really looking at anybody and just goes, "We are in so much trouble."
Why?
Nothing.
But before you have a chance to really to think too much about it, there is a joyous, hollering of goodness coming from the downstairs as the bear comes back up and goes, "You guys did it! You saved us! I mean, the place is a mess. It's going to cost a fortune to fix, but we're okay. We made it through."
Oh, I'm glad it worked out, sir.
That is important.
Sorry for the misfire of implant.
Yeah, so that wasn't anything that was like completely illegal, right? Because
it shouldn't have been. That's just that's a weird technical. I have to give a lot of reports to TCI. That's not something that's supposed to happen.
Can you do it again?
I wish I could. Sometimes that would be neat.
Well, it's a pretty neat talent. Actually, you're all really impressed. I mean, like this guy jumping out of the building here with the food.
I know we don't. I know we don't look like much, but we're kind of capable, sir.
And he goes, no, clearly. Listen, I want to talk about further employment with you guys. How about you all join me for dinner tonight? We'll go out to I'll treat you guys to some food. I mean, we may have a pretty big bill on our hands, but I can spare a meal.
Gonna raise both left arms.
Yeah, you can just talk, man. You can just talk.
He's a very polite person, sir. Don't mind him.
Oh well, I like that.
Well, we have to. Deal with the other people because they attacked here and everything.
Well, they should be. I mean, at least as I understand it. And Rio's nodding and says, "Yeah, at this point, their official attack has been recorded. So if they were to come back and try again, they'd be in violation of the contract they bought, essentially. So while they may do it, the IRPF would step in on your behalf."
Okay.
So we can hang out for a while and make sure that all the repairs take place, just to make sure we're thorough. But everybody can get showered up and take a short nap, and maybe we can meet up for some food.
Any kind of dress code, sir?
Oh, just look beautiful. You got it covered, he says. And he looks like he's too happy to be bothered with such things. I'll let you know. I'll let you know where we're going. I'm gonna talk to a few people. I'm gonna exchange some numbers. And we're going to do it, and it's going to be great.
Okay.
And the guy behind him looks, the condor that was with him looks pleased, but it is a measured degree of pleasure.
This is good enough for now.
Well, it's more that he is concerned about where things are going because his partner is excited, and he is less so.
Yes, he's more reserved. He wants to take this in time.
Yeah.
He doesn't want rash decisions from idiot pants, right?
Yeah, it is difficult. I mean, this guy doesn't talk, so it looks like the other guy's definitely pulling the strings. But he appears to be, as I mentioned the first time that we met these guys, one of these guys looks a bit more like a CEO, and the other guy looks a bit more like he was a criminal that was maybe eventually upgraded to hired gun, eventually upgraded to gang war survivor kind of thing. He's got some mileage behind him.
Okay.
And the suit that he's wearing doesn't necessarily fit that well in terms of his overall appearance.
Yeah. He doesn't wear it well. It's like he's uncomfortable in his own skin kind of thing.
Pretty much.
Okay.
So they will move off toward the front in that general vicinity. And you guys have an opportunity to kind of move at your pace for a little while. Decide where you want to go.
Okay, well, shit. I have to go talk with Smith here in a minute. Hey, baby, Toberius, Drac. You guys are amazing, okay? I love you guys.
Oh, thank you.
Just want to make sure I say that in, intervals. That you know. In case you ever need to remember Penny.
You're not going suborbital again, are you?
I can't say I'm not.
You hamsters blasting off, I got.
Why not?
Because I don't really understand what happened, so I can't say that I can't say it will happen.
Oh.
It's not like I have any control over it.
No.
I mean, doing that was not in control.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I gotta figure out what I'm telling Smith.
Lies.
Lots of lies. Actually, I've never lied to Smith.
Yeah, because
Well,
I was
too
like,
late to say.
I've blatantly never lied to Smith. This is not something I'm capable of.
Not too late to start.
Hey, I'm assuming Rio's busy right now or something, right? So it's just like the three of
She's
us.
just kind of going around this
okay.
stuff. Yeah.
Hey, Toberius, you're good at nosing around, right?
Head just
get your head out of the gutter for a minute here, man. Stay with me. Stay with me. Then he wants you to stay with me.
not helping.
Not helping. Okay, so here's the thing. I know we can't find anything for my stuff, and I'm pretty sure you're breaking your head against the wall looking for yours. Can you see if you can look up anything about Drac's family? Maybe there's like school records or something of them at camp, or something where you can just send him pictures of his kids recently. Stuff that would be easily accessible on the internet. You don't need to break into their emails. Don't break into their emails. For the love of God, don't break into their family account. I mean, just look for anything like posted on FriendFace.
Break into their family account.
Toberius's ears, whose ears had been straight up, are actually slowly folding back down over the top of his head, and he just starts whistling and turning away.
No.
Definitely breaking into that shit.
No, please, no. I'm just saying, maybe we can.
It's hard to say don't do this, but it's already been done.
You're the only person that can probably do this well. Can you just very quietly see if you can find stuff out? Maybe let him know what his new kids' names are. I mean, don't make contact. Don't make contact. The only person that
can do this well. I literally asked her to do a Google search.
Yeah. Seth, I am doing a Google. A Google search. No, I'm checking Vector Book.
No, I want
It's
them. Thank
you very much.
I want you to search very discreetly for it, because people are looking for people connected to us, and us looking for them. So we don't want to have. I want you to do a very stealth search. I want you to go off a whole bunch of different networks, bounce it all over the place. Okay?
Roger, Google search with privacy mode on.
Shut up.
Actually, Toberius is holding up his hand, projecting a little search window. That's vector search, and he's clicking this little button in the top, and it goes black, and it just says, now in incognito mode.
Right, but he does that, and then he does how to vector search Drachert's family, and he sends me the link of type this, that stupid how to Google shit. It's like, oh, you son of a bitch.
Secretary, jeez.
Alright, at this, Penny's just gonna look flustered and go, you know what? No, you know what? Never mind. I don't even know why I'm trying. I'm just giving up.
Seth, actually, while I was doing all that, I was actually doing a quiet, just background check.
Doing minding certain computers.
And since it is simplified, I'm just making it look like it's a job history inquiry.
Also, if you can, see if you can get the full list of fatalities from that building.
Which building?
You know the building.
Oh, that.
Yeah. I mean, we need to know who was in there. Also, I didn't talk to you about this. This didn't happen. Okay?
Okay, so, Sev, I got a 1. A 15.
Oh, no, you are simplified, right?
Yeah, you simplified.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so your one's okay. So
Yeah,
you
so
got
I
a 15. And yeah, so there's 3 there that are, or well, no, it's a harder search than that. There's like 1 there, but good, it's good enough. Yeah, you find a couple of different things. For one, you find some information on Drax's family that's public. You do find another layer in there that's a little weird that you weren't really expecting to see. Like you found the Spacebook stuff, and the other various informations, but there are mentions of these particular kind of identities in files that probably shouldn't care about them, that are a bit deeper in Megacorp files than you were really expecting to go. You kind of whispered into it, so when some of these names pop up, they're popping up in like secure Progenitus files and secure RPF files, and maybe it's tracking because it's the family of an agent that's in a lot of work, but it's a little odd that they're this far down. It's going to take a little longer to figure out. You just find the files. But the other thing that you find is that your little sniffers that you had earlier that was looking for some stuff related to your grotto appears to find something.
Oh, really? Toberius's ears, while Penny's going on about trying to find all this stuff and her just slowly getting annoyed with him, his ears suddenly perk back up while he's looking at her, and he's holding open his hand and he flicks some of the information to her. That's the publicly available stuff. And I'm opening up my sniffers.
So
all right, I'm gonna sit down and start going over the publicly available stuff with Drachert.
It'll take you time to look through this information, so
yeah.
you guys can probably head back to the house or something.
Well, I have to go upstairs, so.
No, that was the upstairs. You
oh, so okay. Okay, so they're just gonna talk to me later. Okay, so yeah, I'll go back. I'm actually going to ride on Drachert if he will give me a ride on the way back. I'm just gonna be like, I'm done with walking. I'm done with walking.
He might not even be able to notice you. Like the overall sensory acuity may not be sufficient at that size.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna basically do the whole thing where I cup my hands. And I'm like, Drock, give me a ride.
Drake does his thing, just kind of lower hand for her to get on. Bring her up, put her on shoulder.
What you need to do is you need to get your hooves, now that you have them, like hollowed out one of them so that you can do the big O thing where the car can park inside one of the feet.
That's terrible.
I mean, is that allowed?
Can we do this?
Don't give him ideas.
Custom shoeing.
I'm also going to ask Rio, how much did we just make?
So I thought I had a figure for that. Do any of you recall from?
We actually never heard a figure for that. I think
at
least I never heard one in the previous video when I re-listened to it. We just she just wanted us to take the job really bad. We weren't worried about money. We were just doing it for sneaky, but I'm assuming we would have made some money.
Yeah, I'll come up with a figure in a second.
Okay. I mean, whatever the big figure was, we clearly accepted it, so you can get away with a low number, but I would like,
2 credits, 2.5 maybe at best.
2 credits, 3 credits. This guy got away with a steal.
45 XP.
45 XP!
Sweet!
No.
45 XP continues to be the thing we all desperately want the most.
Even if we keep getting the things we wanted that specific amount for.
Yeah, well, the best part is, over the course of getting 45 XP, we still want 45 XP.
I get 45 credits.
So we got 45 XP. Do we get 45 XP for that?
Yeah, can I get a 45 XP mixed in with the 45 XP?
Yeah.
Like, for every 45 received.
With some sprinkles. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna ride on Drachert and try to go over the stuff with him, and I'm gonna kind of just be like, even though he probably can't even tell, I'm like, pat, there, you know? Here, you're getting to hear something about your family. Yay!
Anybody else doing anything specific or heading in any particular direction?
I'm gonna stock up on donuts. Been pretty disappointing.
Yeah, the donut supply here is it was just attacked. So all the other stressed out people, they took donuts on their way out.
They took the donuts?
They took the donuts.
Oh,
that's rude, eh?
Sev, Drax had mentioned he had found a minigun.
No, he found the heavy repeater. It's bent up and busted, but it might be repairable.
I'm going to actually take a look at that thing.
Okay. Yeah, do a mind exert engineering.
I can do that.
I'm going to.
It is worth noting, by the way, I don't know if we actually have any people watching, but if you're watching in the future so they haven't tuned into this campaign before, this particular campaign is expressly intended to test high-level characters. So people are passing a whole lot of checks because they're at about as good as you can get.
We have 4 viewers
doing
right
them.
now. I know we have Fu and Tygon and a couple others that are watching.
Okay, well, it's simplified, so 6,
Yeah, so
6,
okay.
9, 10.
Yeah, you are fairly certain you can fix this. It's just going to take a little work and a little money.
Mm-hmm. Gun.
There's just this quick sound of.
In fact, you know who can fix it? Penny can fix it if you can't, because my engineering is crazy.
You can't fix it here. This building isn't really
Yeah.
equipped for that.
Oh no,
but
no!
you can
I'm
bring
just
it back
I'm just tearing off parts that I know are going to need to be replaced.
To be fair, if we want someone else to fix it, Drac can as well.
Yeah. Oh,
So it looks like you can probably salvage this piece.
Oh, I have salvage specialist too.
don't. But you want to keep it though. If you salvage it, you just get the
I want
parts.
to keep the gun of the gun.
You want the gun or do you want the parts?
No, I want the gun.
The-
No, I'm just.
Salvage specialist means you get the parts out of it. You don't want to do that.
Well, it depends on how bad off it is.
I'll let you put this one back together if you want it, because you've been kind of disgruntled with your current weapon. So if you feel like switching to a heavy repeater.
Okay.
It's not so much I'm disgruntled. It's with gun. I'm disgruntled with my rolls.
I can't help you with that one.
Yeah, no, nothing can help with that.
Take the deal on the gun.
I am going to, while I'm riding on Drachert's shoulder, and he's mostly oblivious to my presence while we're doing stuff, I am actually going to send a message to Aiden. Specifically Aiden, and no one else but Aiden.
Bit?
Hey,
No.
just thinking of you,
Yes.
if you ever want to talk, or you're feeling like a little sad, you know you can get a hold of me, okay?
Where everybody knows your name. Alright, so you send that off.
Yeah.
The rest of you, anybody else doing anything particularly track or like BB or anything like that?
Drac is probably, if anything, just going to walk with Penny and then probably change out of the armory into an actual, like, nicer set of clothes for the dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be. You guys have time for like a nap and a shower and stuff before that takes place.
And I figure we're also trying to look at the what scattered images on friend face that we have managed to get for Drachert.
They look fairly familiar. He can take a little nostalgic walk down the lane there, and see some of these new people that have been floating around and gotten older by 10 years. Except for one or two of them have decided to like de-age. So
it's probably one of those weird things of like I know these people, but I also kind of don't remember any of this. But it's nice to see them, kind of thing.
Looks like one of them got that tattoo just to fluster Sam.
Huh?
So one of them got that tattoo for a tattoo just to fluster Stan. All right, Penny. You wake up. The last thing that you recall was that you had asked a visitor to help you out. You are looking around in a strange
shit!
spot has been sort of distorted and weird, and there's this kind of softly blowing wind that you can feel. And as you kind of look outside what you think is a window, it appears to be roughly analogous to a window. There is this really, really large expanse of space, just huge and empty, and has this ambient sort of white light throughout it, and a very neutral temperature. It's very comfortable, but it feels still and strange and quiet and lonely. And as you kind of look upward out of this window, there is a spiraling mass of land, of world, like it's extending upward from your current location, in a suspended in midair, and it goes up and up and up forever, and connects with various other spider webs that feel like they might be other countries or continents or even planets, through physical bridges in time and space. And as you look down, you're looking down through a spider web of an entire world, basically. It's like big chunks of it have been removed, and you're looking at a graphic glitch that sees down through eternity. And you kind of feel like you're not in Kansas anymore. But Other than that, the only thing that you can kind of vaguely detect is this sort of softly blowing wind and occasional sounds that sound like movement with nothing nearby.
Hello?
There is not an immediate answer to this.
Aiden? Visitor? Drac? Baby?
It is...
Toberius? One down the line.
Oh, there. No.
Tisa!
McLeod!
Yeah.
You will be there for some time. There isn't a immediate answer. You can choose to sit still, you can choose to start walking, but it is you alone for a while.
I'll probably mix it up of staying still for a little bit, calling, moving a little bit, calling.
Or the first thing that you see is this kind of, you figure it's another building at first, but then it moves with this bizarre grace, and it looks like this massive spider with really, really thin legs. Sort of like, I guess the closest thing I can think of is like the Half-Life 2 Striders, if you remember them, just because they're these really tall, spindly things. But these are more limbs. And don't look like they're biomechanical necessarily. It just looks like gossamer. It's this really huge kind of walking thing. And as it steps forward across land masses, it will kind of move forward and then wink out of existence and appear like a puff of smoke over at another one, and keep walking. And you see a few of them sort of moving around quietly despite their size. And you can feel the thumps of vibration through the ground as they move. But it feels a bit more like bass hitting you as opposed to like the sound of things crunching underfoot. It's almost like the sound waves are just moving slowly through this breeze.
Okay.
That's hitting you again and again. But before you are able to watch for too long, you feel a new presence that is a mounting shape behind you. That feels a bit more urgent. It's like something is stalking, kind of a tingling that you get at the back of the neck.
Looking around really nervously.
Okay, do a body perceive and search.
Okay. 3. Ooh, but I do have simplify, so that's still an 11.
Okay. You as you are searching, the sensory perception is weird. You're trying to look for it, but at the same time you feel like you're looking through feelings as opposed to just looking through sight, and you get this feeling that whatever it is that is following you knows you, and it's a weird alien knowledge, not necessarily something you're expressly comfortable or uncomfortable with, but it is moving with purpose and stalking, essentially, trying to find you.
Okay, well, I don't know if I want it to find me or not.
No, and you don't really have any knowledge of its intention.
Yeah.
Other than that, it appears to be looking for you specifically.
I don't really know what would be looking for me specifically in this, so of course I also don't know how to hide here, so I'm kind of just walking along nervously, trying to avoid things.
It is getting closer, basically. You find yourself running without necessarily meaning to, and as you're moving along, the big walking things are kind of taking note of you. One of them kind of bends by and sort of has a look as you're ducking in and out of corridors. You feel like you might be, based on the orientation of the land masses, you could be running sideways, but it's tough to tell what up or down is around here. Do a body perceive in athletics.
Oh, why?
Because I've decided that this is the do you trip roll.
Do you even trip roll?
Yes.
I trip.
You do. You stumble.
I stumble like a scared character in Friday the 13th.
You stumble, and as you stumble, you skitter forward into one of these crevices, and there is a near fall. Do a body exert in athletics.
That's That's pretty much the same roll. So there we go. Here we
Roll it
go.
better this time. There
Rolled
you
it
go.
better.
You fall through it and manage to snag it at the last second before nearly falling downward what is probably thousands of miles, half the diameter of a planet, to get onto the next ledge of whatever this landmass is. And you are clinging there, and the presence feels like it's getting closer. And then from the other side, down below you, you hear a voice. It's just, Penny?
Yeah, I'm here.
And a hand grabs you and pulls you out from the other side, and you are now apparently gravitated to the back end of this. The world does a flip, and whatever was below you is now above you. As you're holding the back of it, and it's, oh, Penny! And there's this sobbing as this shape is holding you close, but you kind of notice for a moment after the hug or whatnot, that it's Aiden.
After the smothering, right?
Yeah, after the smothering, that it's Aiden, and he looks hollow-eyed and just worn, beaten, and not in the greatest of shape.
Oh God, Aiden, what's going on? Where are we? What's happened?
I don't know. I just heard you. I've been looking for months to try to. I didn't. Oh, and I'm so happy to talk to somebody. And he is just kind of like blubbering, trying to figure out how to say things.
What do you
Seems
remember
like he's
last?
broken. I was. I don't know. I haven't been here before. I've been stuck. I've been stuck on the. I was in the station, and then I was in my room, and then I was removed. I was removed. My body fell apart, and it was taken apart, and I was thrown on the ceiling, and I've been there.
God,
I've been there all this time.
I'm so sorry.
And he kind of goes in this breakdown of trying to explain that essentially he felt like something had removed him from himself and was left there. And he goes in for the next hour of his body was cleaned up, security had come through, Keel had come through, a new Aiden had come through, looking around and got nervous about the room and left. And he was screaming, trying to get their attention, and nobody noticed. And eventually the lights went off, and no one's been back in that room for about a month. As he's been kind of stuck on the ceiling, and as he kind of concludes, it says, "But then I heard there was a sound, and I heard your voice, and I just followed you through. I followed you through, and I was here, and I could walk again, and I've just been trying to catch you."
Oh, I'm so glad to see somebody. There's something after me.
This was the thing that you thought, but there is a new sound that is mounting. As you are kind of feeling a new rumbling, the massive creatures that are walking about, that are some 6-story tall monstrosities, skitter. They book it as though they are frightened by something, and then back off into zero kill reality. You guys can get emails basically indicating that you will be going out to a fine steak dinner tonight.
Yay, steak dinner. I'm so excited.
Take a potty break here.
Dinner. Potty break. Okay. Yeah, that was an entirely dick move, Zev. Dick move. Dick move.
Aren't you so glad that you're hanging out with Visitor?
Nothing bad happens to people that hang out with
Lighthearted campaign, guys.
Lighthearted campaign. Lighthearted campaign. Oh, so sad.
No, it's not sad. It's lighthearted campaign.
No, don't be sad. It's lighthearted campaign. Okay, body break. I should probably start the music. Yeah.
It's time to start the music.
All right, be right back.
It's time to put on. It's time to start the intermission tonight.
And I'm back. Lighthearted campaign, yo.
Lighthearted.
Hmm. I'm sad because I have to assume that no matter what happens, I'm never going to be able to save that Penny or that Aiden. They are dead. Poor things. You know?
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure no matter what, you're not gonna be able to discern which one's the real Penny and which one's the real Aiden anymore.
Well, and there's also the problem of I don't think I can save the current Penny anyway. She's gonna end up being the deformed pile of bone pile left over, like what happens to anybody that deals with a Nephilim for any amount of time. Yay!
To be fair, yours is also compounded by the fact of the sheer amount of them we have around us.
You mean that there's two?
At least.
Yeah.
That's like our minimum number right now.
Two?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's already two more than most people want to deal with on any basis.
On a lifetime basis.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, except for like anybody who's super crazy TTI like Penny, then this is like, yeah.
I think even she has a level of trepidation with it.
Well, with two, yeah, but one, yeah, maybe she's kind of excited.
I return.
Welcome back. I don't know who's all here.
Then by the end of everything, it's going to turn out the entire party except Penny was actually fucking Nephilim.
No. I don't think we're gonna end up with that craziness where everything was in Penny's head at the end.
I'm totally
No, not all of it was in your head. You were all Nephilim who were just
at all. No way is BB a deception of any proportion.
Why would you lie to me? I know BB's a lie now.
BB's Ricardo.
BB is in no way lying to you whatsoever.
I believe that BB is Ricardo. I really do.
I believe that BB is Perfecto.
Oh, poor Aiden and Penny. Oh, that's so sad. Because I think I remember where that is, and if it is, well, sucks to be them. Okay, so is Toby back?
Not yet.
So mean.
So, good luck.
Well, it's not really a good luck situation anymore. They're doomed. There's no way out of that.
No, there are ways out of any kill area. They can open portals again, but it's not easy. And,
well, I mean, what is there for them when they come out? I mean, is Aiden gonna have a body?
That's the bigger question: is what happens to you when you leave?
Yeah, because that's like a thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Toby. Well, at least he's not alone.
There you go.
That's something. Alright, we're back then.
Sorry, I had to get water.
You're forgiven.
What did you have to get it for?
To drink.
No.
You splash it on yourself and then go, yeah!
Zesty.
Alright, I think we're all here.
Right. So the restaurant that they are proposing is a rather high-class affair. So formal attire is recommended. And as you get the message in, Rio will also follow up with this is a great opportunity for us to figure out how we can worm into this a little deeper. So rest up, wash up, and do your best to not make anybody too concerned.
Okay, so we need clothes.
You do? Oh, and you need money. So let's say 600 space bucks per person.
Yeah. Nice.
As like a budget for getting clothing, or
No, as like a reward for your services rendered.
Oh, services rendered! Yay!
I didn't know that was part of the job that we were doing, but okay.
I can take
Guess
money.
I'll render some services.
Oh my. I am going to go to a nice place and get a very, very fancy dress. Micro dress. Not like micro, like short skirt, but like for micros to wear.
No, too late. Already getting the short skirt.
No.
Done.
No.
And done.
No.
Who wears short
And I did that, and that's done, and so that is happening.
And that is not happening, and that is not how it happened. So I'm going to get a really nice outfit, and I'll take a shower and do myself
So you're getting
up.
a short skirt and a long jacket?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. It's just
Oh,
short
good.
skirt and
Sucking
a
cake.
really long
Sucking
jacket.
cake reference for the night.
Well,
That's
that
good.
exhausts the only cake songs I remember.
Yeah, there we go. But yeah, I'll get a short skirt and a long jacket. I get a really pretty outfit and get my hair did up, maybe some perfume.
See, Anna's not here, so we can't make the U2 jokes. So I guess we're just having cake jokes instead.
I am also
Correct.
going to take the time to order one of those little mini homes that I had last time for Essel because Penny deserves a quiet place. God damn it. I think that was like 300 credits last time, so I'm just going to do that. It's 100 credits for the fancy outfit.
Oh. Drac, you were what?
He's getting a very fancy, like, tuxedo hat, whole shebang.
It is going to be a bit of a difficult thing for him. So it's just adjusted cost of like 10% more off of whatever fancy clothes are.
Well, they're 100 normally, so.
So 110.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
I was gonna say, it's not terribly much.
BB kind of has to do the same because of the arms.
Yep. I've given a visual representation
Nice.
of. Yeah.
I'm just going to assume that his lips are constantly in the pursed position that guy is. Every single one of these people looks like they're like in the middle of a conversation. I just can imagine them walking along going, sorry.
Oh yeah, you gotta apologize to all the cars that are waiting for the parade to finish, and all the people who came out and are waiting for the parade to finish. And
I spend entirely too much time fussing because I'm used to getting it ready without having a mirror. Do I not have a mirror still? Or not have a reflection still?
Yeah, I think you still
I
don't.
think your reflection. No, I thought it came back a while ago.
Sometimes it has been there and sometimes it hasn't been, so.
Oh, yeah, right now it is there.
Okay. Okay, well, I'm gonna enjoy getting to have a reflection for a change and kind of just like, man, is this what I look like? Jesus Christ.
For however long this lasts.
Well, I mean, it's kind of novel to Penny to get to see what she looks like, you know, in real time, other than just like looking at like photos or something or a recording.
Toberius is just kind of looking, going, formal? So lab coats, right?
No.
Somebody may need to help Toberius.
Drachert, can you help Toberius?
Crack actually will be there already with the suit and go, you should come with me.
Where did
and
you...
you'll see
Ow!
a world
The-
of tuxedos.
Don't you have to
Jack
get
also has,
stuff
like-
custom made?
He's checking your inseam now.
The fuck? As Tobias is just kind of hanging upside down, going, Penny, I blame you for this!
Jack also already has like the
Blame
little bit of
accepted.
the facial fur in that already cleaned up a bit.
Ah!
Looks extremely dapper.
You will find that the hooves actually shine up pretty well. If you got them shoot that way. What shoeing did you get? Did you get any?
I don't think I had any yet. We hadn't really been anywhere else able to
Well,
get
now's
anything.
your chance, so what do you want to
Power
get?
buffer.
You can see your reflection.
You can get the shinies or the like the rubber stops or whatever.
He'd probably, since he usually has them covered in the suit he's wearing anyways, he'd probably get the fancy stuff just because when it's out of the suit, may as well look nice.
You feel positively glamorous to an almost self-conscious degree because you haven't grown up with this particular culture. So the fact that your feet are entirely gleaming like freshly polished toenails is a little odd for you.
To be fair, he was originally a lateral bear, so probably had the same thing with kind of shining the toe claws and all that sort of thing.
That's claws, though. This is your whole foot.
I'm just saying it's that same general thing, just to a bigger degree, so he's kind of used to it.
It is a peculiar thing as you look down, but you're clocking around and looking quite dapper in your strange attire.
I'm assuming that Tisa's not going to go out because she's trying to avoid going out in public right now.
Tisa is stewing.
And also she's still stewing, yeah.
Yeah.
She's exhibiting her stereotypical bubbly behavior.
Mm-hmm. She's simmering down now. All right, so you guys can all take various ways.
Liquid joke.
Mm-hmm. Bubbly. To the event. When you get there, it is a kind of a reservation-only affair. So your names are kind of checked out on a list as you arrive. And they lead you to a back room, and there are a bunch of different people there. Some of whom you've seen before. And then a bunch that you haven't, and then the two CEOs are there that you met with earlier. I don't suppose anybody has names for them. Did we ever pick them?
I don't remember them, unfortunately. I don't know
I
if you
think
did or
they
not.
were pretty much just CO1
All right,
and CO2.
let's give them names. Let's see here. So we're gonna have to use them a few times now.
Banjo and Kazooie.
We actually, I have names for them already.
Oh, neat. What are they?
The panda is Pandar, and the vulture is Voltur.
Alright,
Okay,
that sounds like
you're
those
wrong.
aren't actual ones.
Condor.
Yeah, I think you're not okay there.
How about
Ibn Ob.
No, not Ibn Ob.
Why the hell would you be
How
Ibn Ob?
about Corden and
Wesley?
Freeman.
Darrow?
Sure, I'll go with that, since it's the first one that's come out that wasn't completely dumb.
Oh,
Are you calling it partly dumb?
Alright, so Corden and Darrow. I don't know which one you want to be which, but Corden and Darrow, I wrote it down in the notes.
We'll have the bird be Corden.
Okay.
So Darrow is the barrow.
Oh,
And,
Jesus! I didn't even catch that!
You didn't catch the fact that you named the condor Corden?
Corden.
I didn't mean to name it that! I thought that was going to be the bear! Oh, well.
That feels somehow worse.
Okay. Alright, continue, sorry.
We wouldn't have to cordon off the bear.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Well, it was nice playing a game
Yeah.
so long.
Okay, so yeah, Darrow will be like, "Hey, welcome. You made it. Come in, have a drink. Have several drinks." And they pass off wine glasses and stuff. And the people that are hanging out with them are an interesting array of folks. Do community perceive and protocol.
Woohoo! It's my time to shine.
Body perceive?
Community perceive.
And protocol, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can't shine as bright as BB.
Well,
I'm smart,
if
though.
you just take a rig and some buffing.
I'm actually not too far behind BB, but I am definitely behind him on this one.
Drax like, nope, not paying attention. Wine. So yeah, it is striking how varied the looks are here. You've got people that look like they are probably doing part-time work on the streets with sharp objects and drugs, and then you've got other folks that look like they're more of Darrow's ilk, where they are primarily stealing from rich people by means of their portfolios. And they all kind of, they give you some room because you're the sort of guests of honor, but there's this look of, we haven't seen these guys operate and stuff, but Daryl kind of shoos them away and says, here, pull up a menu and have yourself something. You guys did great today. We got everything all figured out. We didn't lose anything. We got all our stuff, and then it looks like they didn't get away with anything particularly. And did you ever find that? Did you find that one guy, the one that got away?
I think they ran back to their corp, didn't they?
They probably hit base.
She took off in one direction and goes, oh, well, maybe we can grab them later or something, just to hammer home the point that we're not to be fucked with. He says with a degree of I've had a wine or two after the tequila.
That kind of banter that it's probably not serious, but if they're drunk enough to think it is, right?
Yeah, either that or they may be a bit more vindictive than originally thought. Mm-hmm. He goes, listen, I've got some new jobs that I think you guys would be pretty spot on for. He says, and then he looks over and nods to the bird, and the bird kind of pulls out this portfolio, or this pad rather, and puts it on the table, the toggle down there, and gets a view of a ship, and it's a pretty nice looking ship. Not a make that is immediately familiar. Looks kind of customized. And he goes, "This is our main shipping unit. Not the big freighters. I mean, we put it on with everybody else and stuff. But this is how we get our stuff from point A to point B without being messed around with and stuff. We usually have a security team on there. It's pretty solid at what they do." And he looks back at the other people who were around him, who nod and look like capable folks that you don't necessarily want to screw around with. He goes, but a little extra help is always a good thing. So I want to put you on reserve in case something ever comes up, because people get busy. What do you think? You want to do some personal security and make it worth your while?
Sev, I'm avoiding answering this question because Toberius is in good company and has people who speak better than him. But Toberius at the same time...
How worth while are you willing to make this? Because being on reserve, that's kind of a thing, isn't it? I mean, you'd have to dodge
we'll put you on
jobs,
retainer.
right?
We'll just put you on retainer, right? So we're talking, I'll give you 100 credits a month for just being on retainer, and then jobs as they come up.
Doesn't sound bad to me. It's nice to know there's some work coming in. I kind of look around. Is Rio here? Rio, come on.
She's actually not.
Oh God, why isn't Rio here? Shit. I mean, that sounds good to me. You know what? 100 credits a month, I'm in.
All right. So there's only one little thing here that I gotta bring up. Your fearless leader that you were working with today, very very capable pup there, right? But she's got some ties to the local police force that can make things a little sticky. I mean, we're not doing anything illegal, mind you, but it's just sort of there's paperwork, and you saw what we've been working with is this highly proprietary formula. The fewer people that actually look at it, the safer our secrets are, and that's kind of what we're trying to stick with here. So I don't want to end up in a situation where she has to call her friends and then we get the entire IRPF precinct down there looking at all our barrels, stealing our beans, or doing anything else that makes us lose our business, or all this stuff we just fought for isn't worth it anymore. So this is more an agreement between the bunch of us here at this table than it is with your official merc group, I guess. You guys can still take all your jobs and stuff.
You want us to quietly not tell Rio we're doing some extra work on the side.
Well, you do that however you want your corporate culture to be, right? If that's the sort of thing that you want to hide from her, then you hide from her. If you feel like you could just tell her, hey, we've got some side work and you weren't invited, you can do that too. I'll leave that up to you. It's just, it's not for her.
Okay. Well, I'm still in. I don't know about the others.
You will look around to the others.
Toberius is kind of shifting into the shadow behind everyone. He's getting uncomfortable with this guy being.
Well, you're in like a booth seat, so there's not so much shifting you can do. I guess you can hide behind drag.
Yeah, that's pretty much what he's doing.
I have to sit on the fucking table. I'm pretty sure they don't have seating for me.
Toberius knows he's out of his element, and he is shutting up and getting out of line of sight. But at the same time, I'd also like to say I'm doing a quick view over everyone, and just doing a mental capture of faces and images.
Okay, so my face looks like this.
Yeah, my face looks like this.
But all the other people in the booth.
One hand on the table and go, I think...
Oh, that got scary for a second there.
Well, he's being careful of where Penny is.
I know, but you know what I mean. There's some horseshit.
I will be honest. I think it is depending on what the company that we are actually assigned to, due to the nature of our work, was taking a retainer contract.
Yeah, it's
not knowing the particulars of the contract, but the fact that they have us on some very particular and not always available work.
Well, that's our risk that we're taking, right? So if you can't take on our jobs, then basically my retainer money is wasted, and I guess I decide whether or not that's worth it if it happens a few times, right? But I'm willing to risk it. Find out, if I can have you guys on hand for additional security if I need it when you're not busy, and if it doesn't work out, I'll consider it credits lost.
Hey man, I'm basically doing this at Drachert. Hey man, think of it this way. Maybe we can get into some work on our own. Maybe we don't need Rio. Wink, wink.
Penny, in the meantime, so excited that she can finally play all those sleuthy characters she saw on television.
I
She's
know. She is so happy. She never gets to talk.
Unfortunately, she loudly said "wink, wink."
Wink, wink.
I know, but she's also doing it in a cajoling way, so they could actually think that she's trying to joke with Drachert about the fact, hey, it might be nice to fly free a little bit, not have Rio breathing down our necks.
Rio, Draco sat there scratching and goes, oh, this is a good point. Could be nice to have a little bit more freedom.
Mm-hmm.
Now the tough part. Baby, does this sound bad?
I'm going to have to do...
BB, you do this extra work on the side with me, right? Just to make sure I was okay.
I am actually going to try to judge this person's general motives. Yes, intentions and general motive.
Do a community perceive and communicate?
This isn't gonna work. Okay. We're fucked.
It's
already over.
The second he said judge him, I just imagined BB suddenly getting a judge helmet and just going, I find you guilty, and just pulling out a gun and executing everyone at the table.
Red card, you have to leave the battlefield.
All right, so there is some weirdness at this table, right? Now, he doesn't seem like he's trying to trick you into like going off and killing a guy. In fact, his invitation seems pretty genuine. He wants extra security. And you did just see that a bunch of people were trying to kill them, so maybe he needs extra security. But the group that he currently has hired, based on that typecasting you're not supposed to be doing, and all of that racial profiling or whatever that was taught to you about folks that wanted to
don't do this while you're in the RPF.
Yeah, but look out for that guy over there. They're just throwing some looks of people who have basically made money through unscrupulous means. So while everything that you've seen so far suggests that this is in fact a
up and up.
Nice up and up business that has a product that is extremely valuable and has been making a name for itself because of it, you're not entirely sure how they got those assets to begin with.
Also, do remember during our briefing, she did tell us that she wanted us to get close to figure out these people.
Mm-hmm. That is something she mentioned in that email before you guys left too, is, this is an opportunity to try to get deeper into their organization.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess we could probably make sure people stay safe.
Oh, thanks, BB. I don't know what I'd do without you on my side. No, seriously, I don't know what I'd do. I follow this man around combat. He's my job.
All right. So we're good. Great. Another run of drinks, and proceed to have a more or less, casual evening, wherein folks drain a few wine bottles and have some foods. The coffee, surprisingly enough, does not come out, despite it being good. Apparently, they just drink far too much of it.
Nice. Well, I will try to enjoy the evening, even though this is like not the most comfortable situation for Penny ever, because I think she's never been in this situation in her life. So she's just gonna try and smiles and yeah, everything's fine. I'm adjusting to a whole bunch of shit right now. What's this gonna add to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'll ride out the night. And then I'm gonna make sure I don't get my new clothes dirty because they were expensive.
Okay. Anybody else attempting to do anything while there?
Nope. I was just getting all taking images of everyone in the booth and the various others that we have been introduced.
He's just casually gonna have all these people's information, basically.
Yeah.
I'm gonna introduce...
So if you want to try to what did you have for terms of implants for taking pictures of your eyes?
Well, I have the full. I didn't know there was an implant.
To do that?
Yeah, because I would have had that. Because I have the NCS, the wireless hub, the utility eye.
Okay, so you've got the stuff to do that. So the bigger thing that you need, because these are not new technologies that are unheard of, so you have to be somewhat discreet while using them, or people will kind of, these are folks who don't want to be spied on. So if you're going to try to do that,
rolls.
Yeah, you're going to have to roll for it. And then you're going to have to.
Otherwise, there's like this little red light that comes on inside your eyeball that shows you're recording.
Well,
no. There for a moment, I need a clear picture.
How to do this then? Because I have no subterfuge.
It's the new version of like when they used to have, like when they have phones that make the click mode when you're taking a picture.
You know what?
Send a note to your toggle going, excuse me, you're being photographed. Thank you.
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take a selfie with BB with the people at the table.
Yeah, they're not going to allow you. As it comes up, they're going to be like, no, that's not.
Oh, okay. I'll be like, okay, I'll put it up. I won't do it. I'll be like, we'll take a selfie later. You and me. I'm drunk. Woo! I'm not actually drunk.
All right. Well, I won't do that. Then I'm just going to listen for name drops.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you can just try to remember their faces the good old-fashioned way, but
I've got eidetic memory. I'll be able to remember these people.
The reason I was wanting to get their pictures was because once we're done, I was going to do a Google image search.
Yeah. That's why they don't want you to have their pictures.
I'm going to try and shake hands with most people there and
hi there.
say hi.
At one time?
You
can probably get about half of them.
Not all of them at the same time, but maybe like 4 at the same time.
Seems good.
Yeah.
I need a few more arms now, Spee. Sorry.
There are a couple. That's creepy as shit, yo. There are kind of things that come out of it.
Nice.
Probably just keep looking at Drac and then looking up at Drac.
Yeah, pretty much. So you will finish that evening up more or less okay, and then have to Uber yourselves a ride home or something. Or I guess by then the Uber CEO will have tanked his company so badly that it doesn't exist anymore. So you'll have to grab some other.
Or imitates right.
You'll move on via some other means to get back to home.
We'll print a car and go home.
Yeah, print a car and go home.
Print a car.
Print a car.
Yep. When you get back there, the Rio will meet up with you and be like, "So what did you get? How did it go?"
Well, I found out I'm really bad at walking in heels.
I could have told you that.
Well, yeah, you've got 10 years of me knowing stuff I don't have.
Well, I mean, you've learned this before. You told me about your prom situation.
I didn't get it go. He bowed out at the last second. Anyway, they want us on retainer. They want us to work on some ship they have as guards sometimes.
Perfect. So
they don't want you involved.
She nods and goes, "It's not surprising, but we're making progress in the right direction."
I hope you don't mind. I just kind of went for it, but it seemed like what you'd want. So, 100 credits a month. They'll call us when they have need for some thugs.
We're gonna have to arrange some need. I think we need to arrange a hit on this ship to get rid of their previous security.
Oh, wow! Raffia's going whole hog.
She says as she's pondering here. Well, we're on a bit of a crunch. She reminds you. If these are actually the leads to who we think we are, then they are not only actively recruiting, but they have your old team member and somebody who I thought was a fairly good individual currently in captivity.
Well, I understand that. I'm just saying. I just didn't realize Rio's going to war. Jesus. Rio's going to war. I'm like, so Lynn was all that in a bag of chips, huh?
Well, she was a friend, and whatever it is they're planning to turn her into now is going to hurt a lot more people than she does.
I just want to say, I'm kind of new to this whole having friends thing, so I just want to say, I wish I had that kind of a friendship with somebody. That's great. That's awesome. She's a lucky person.
She looks a little like puzzled at that. Like she isn't really sure how to respond with it because she knew you for a little bit, yeah. But is also currently in a different ways. And there's a moment of like recognition there that takes place, and then you catch a kind of glimpse that's sort of forced into your eyes of that previous organism that you had kind of seen her be before. And it doesn't look like it's anything that she does. It feels a bit more like Visitor forces it into your eyes.
Yeah.
Like recall what you're dealing with kind of thing. And it for a second blowns out the overall sound that you're hearing, so you don't really hear a response that comes out of her. But she goes on to kind of work on this plan.
Oh, yeah.
Toberius, you have managed to get the information of where your stuff had picked up on where that possible message from your grotto was actually over where Penny had crashed. Essentially, it was on that side of town that you hadn't been to before. There was something there that you could potentially investigate to look into that. Or, I mean, both of these things are going to take time, so you're going to have to delegate which direction you want to go. But there's also the information on Drax's family that you had picked up that seemed weird and deeper than it ought to be.
I hate to say it, but you'd probably go for your stuff first. Because we've got
That's
friend face, so.
Tobias is just going, oh, okay. Oh, good news, bad news. We're out of everyone's way, right?
Yeah, you're back at the hotel now.
So it's just us and Rio.
Mm-hmm.
So, good news, bad news.
Hey, what's the good news?
I've got a bunch of leads.
That's amazing.
Bad news. I've got a bunch of leads.
Well, let's start putting them up on the whiteboard. We'll break this down. Well,
it's two very solid leads, and he kind of flings out a hologram. Mm-hmm. As per your request, I did a bunch of.
I don't believe I asked you anything as per conversation previously. It's Penny Shifty Eyes.
I don't know. I heard him. He said as per your request.
Shut up, Rio.
I thought your last name was something different.
Yeah.
Well, this is just stuff we've been working on. After all, we want to figure out who we are. Well, I found information based for me and for Drax. Unfortunately, Penny, I still have yet to get any feedback on any of your searches.
Oh, don't even
BB
bother. Don't even bother. My dad has not had any interaction or care for me for the last... She actually looks like she's almost briefly angry about it, and then she lets it go.
And BB is a little harder to find.
But I'm right here.
Yes, BB. The old BB. The new BB. They are the same BB. We will find you, my friend.
But
don't worry.
I'm right here.
This is the only character who's already found.
BB, you can accept that you are you, right?
Yes.
Can you accept that there was also somebody else who was very similar to you, that was having a very similar set of memories and may have interacted with your family, that may have died? Can you accept that?
But why are you looking for him?
No, we're not looking for him. We're looking for what happened to him.
He died.
He did. He did die. We know that, right? So we want to know what happened to him with his life, because he touched into the lives of the people you care about. And we want to know how they are. Does that make sense?
Oh, so you want to know what he did?
Yeah, we want to know what he did. Does that make sense?
Why don't you
Well,
ask
why were you saying you were trying to find him?
It's bad verbiage. Toberius was raised in a grotto. I don't understand him half the time either. I took a slash a smile.
Toberius actually kind of looks vaguely insulted.
I'm gonna flash him a smile like I tried.
Under section 6A.
Oh, can you send me that so that way I can look at it? I think I need to brush up on the rules of conduct.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Okay, so the information, the feedback I got was I found a couple leads on the possibility of my people.
Okay, so you're grotto.
What
and
your people.
And the other for Drax, I found some oddities, and he looks up at his ears, which kind of fold over his head a little bit. It's going to be a rabbit hole.
Oddities?
Urge to slap the DM rising.
Sorry, just had to check.
There's a lot of dark information around the information I found on Drax. So I'm going to have to dedicate my resources to tracking down one or the other.
Well, I mean, can some of us do it? I look over at Rio and I'm like, hey Rio, that Lainey, their group, are they good at? Oh, they're busy. They're looking at this.
I don't think they're going to be interested in helping you find your friends. They're looking for their own problems.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not too bad with computers. I can try. I just don't have the rigs for it.
I'm really good with computers, and I barely spotted this stuff. Someone is hiding.
Well, I mean,
so
I hate to say it, but if it's your grotto stuff, none of us will probably be able to do anything about it, because I mean, they're not going to trust us. So
unless I had introduced you, and I look at Rio.
She doesn't seem to acknowledge it one way or the other, and she kind of shrugs and says, well, I don't imagine you would have. It was nothing that I had particularly heard about.
All right.
So
at the time, you were pretty deep into the program, so typically most outside exchanges at all didn't really take place. It's not like a lot of us made home calls.
Yeah, I don't think we did.
All right. So I'm leaving it up to everyone because I know what I want to do, but.
Well, I think the only person that's relevant to like who you want to ask is Drac. If he wants you to, yeah.
So Drac, I have to ask.
What do you think?
Yeah.
I would be appreciative, but at the same time, if other information more important, then I've gone this long not knowing the children is not going to hurt too much to go a little bit longer. Yes.
Well, it's not even the children, it's some weird files.
And it's not excluding having to do one or the other. It's just I can only do so much. And
unless the first option kills you.
Okay,
So.
well, I mean, we'll keep it on the table if we find a way to look into it more. Maybe we can if Drac wants to pursue it at any point. But hey, good luck to you, man. That's awesome. Do you need any help? I mean, I guess we got some downtime unless Rio got us lighting a building on fire or breaking someone's legs. You know, this is really different work than I thought I was signing up for. Just gonna say.
I have no idea.
Well, the feedback I got was on the other side of town where we picked you up, Penny.
Oh, yeah, that's a great place. I can tell you it was different. Actually, I didn't feel a thing. I'm fine.
Well, that kind of makes sense. The velocity you were traveling, nerve receptors wouldn't have had a chance to fire off. But then again, most people would be a red smear.
Yeah.
And he reaches over and pats Penny on the head and goes, "You're a durable little one."
Penny looks not pleased.
And it hurt a little bit.
Yeah. Ow. Press.
All right, so I'm going to start tracking down data on the lines I got.
Last place he was seen was on a Romulan ship.
That was terrible.
Sam, here's the bat.
Bring up Nemesis at a time like this. Sorry, it was a terrible film, but
Sam, you may proceed with the beatings. You may stop whenever you feel like, but
right,
you don't have to stop.
I apologize. I have to go get in my car. I need to start driving south, and I'm gonna grab a baseball bat before I go.
I'll join you here in a few minutes.
Okay. Fair.
I'd assumed Nemesis was just, shooting for the stars.
Right. That's all right. So I've got to go north first. Changing trajectory. Okay.
It's actually difficult to figure out where you're supposed to go because you and Aiden have been walking for some time now.
No.
You are back looking at this sort of strangely peaceful escape, but there is a oppressive presence that keeps kind of showing up, and it feels like an aura in an area that you quickly kind of move out of once you detect it. And he isn't being too descriptive about it, but he's saying we got to keep going, stay away from that. And there comes a point after the running and stuff where he kind of pauses a little bit and says, I think we might have gone the right direction for now. Getting conversation out of him has been difficult because he's been kind of refinding his sanity. It's been since when you first got your voice back that he's actually interacted with anybody.
Yeah.
And you get the kind of slow story out of him that they didn't shut the room down. The new Aiden's there, and he's grown to hate himself because he's just watched this other person sleep in his bed from above, and other things, and screamed at Keel to try to get him, and just he's changed a whole lot of his outlooks on things because he feels like this is probably what's happened every time they've reset you in the tank, so there is a kind of slow pouring of emotions that comes out of him over time, but eventually, as you get to more sensible discussion, you can kind of start filling him in on what's been happening. And since there's been quite a bit, I'm going
to append it with, well, see, Smith told me not to tell you shit, and told me not to send you a bunch of these reports. So here, why don't I just rattle them off from eidetic memory, and I'll fill him in on like everything that's been going on with me. I mean, like the last thing I remember.
No, Smith, son of a bitch. This happened with a previous member that we had. I mean, not this. This is a different thing. But this conversation with the Nephilim is something we've encountered before. There's different schools of thought on this, Penny, on how you're supposed to interact with these things, and Smith is is a fanatic. Is he thinks that these things are the salvation. He's trying to assist them. I mean, he's corporate brass, and there's not a whole lot you can do about it. But when we encountered it, when Blackwatch ran into it for the first time, we got her out of there. We got conversations from on high ordering her for off the premises.
Who's her?
It was somebody named Rio.
Oh my god, I know Rio. She's got all glowy and stuff. She's really neat looking now.
What? So she's still alive?
Yeah, the other you had us start working with her.
Oh, I guess he would have, because I
we needed leadership, and then anyway, but me and Visitor were walking around on Venus, and I saw this thing, and he was telling me that was another thing, and that it was not sure if it would hurt me, and it wasn't sure if I should go near it because it was scared that I might get hurt, I think, or something.
They're talking to each other. No,
it wasn't. Really... It wasn't talking to. It wasn't. It doesn't know how to talk to it.
Okay.
It doesn't know how to talk to it, and it seems hostile. I wrote a report.
Did it get to him?
I thought I sent it. I took a vent. I was, and then Tisa thought I was having a breakdown, and she gave me some sedatives.
Oh, he kind of shakes his head. Oh man, I mean, I don't know what's over there right now because you're here. But if they make another you, the other me makes another you, and things might get kind of interesting. I don't know if that's really our problem anymore, though.
I mean, but why am I here though? Because I asked him, he was going to help me.
Because you're dead, Penny. Oh. I mean, I think we both are.
Oh.
Do you know where this is?
No, I've never seen this before.
He kind of looks around at the area around it and says, "This I've seen this before. I've seen diagrams. I haven't been here, but I know it. This is kind of a parallel. It's called Vesper. It's another reality. We call them near kills because they're close to our own reality, but not exactly it. It's why you can recognize the terrain here, and it doesn't drive you insane. But they're all a little different. This one's actually, I mean, I guess we're kind of lucky because this one's pretty tame. There's some scary shit here, but it's not really quite so chasey as the other ones. But there are ways out of here, but I don't know what happens when and he kind of ponders a little bit. I wonder if that's what a ghost is. I don't know. I don't know what happens when you leave here and go back to zero kill with no body waiting for you. But if we end up in the same situation where I was before, just stuck in time and space with no interaction, that's hell. You don't want that.
Yeah. She kind of frowns a bit. Says, well, I guess we're here. I don't know if we ever can leave here, so I guess we're here.
He sighs for a minute and looks around and goes, "There's another place where multiple things can exist at once. It's another miracle called Rive, where people exist kind of metaphorically, and multiple aspects of a person can be in the same place at the same time. I don't know if this would actually do anything, but if we can get over there through a gateway, we might be able to coexist in the bodies that are already present."
That would probably be the best thing we could hope for.
Well, that's actually what your shadow is.
God, sir.
What do you mean?
I mean, there is an entity coexisting with you via connection and Rive.
Why doesn't anybody tell me this shit?
Well, would you really want to know? You're basically shadow.
I just kind of basically fold my arms and give him the flattest look, and I go, you really think I didn't want to know?
There's not usually anything to be done about it because we don't really have connections to that area, but it's not like we have anything better to do but to try.
Well, yeah, and as much as I know you don't like the thing, I wish I could get a hold of it because I don't know if it could help us.
He shakes his head and says, "By all our understandings, the only thing they understand is our own reality. that's kind of their problem right now. You probably can't reach it from here.
Yeah, probably can't. Okay, well, let's keep looking. We got nothing else to do, right? We got eternity on our hands.
He chuckles and says, "Yeah, you know any good jokes?"
I had some in my friendship book. Yeah.
This would be like the worst conversation ever.
Yeah.
So they will continue off tangentially.
I Spy for the next 10 years.
Until they can find some stuff and stay ahead of what they're chasing. Back in normal reality, Toby, you were trying to find, or were you planning on going off to seek out your grotto?
I was going to start, since I have located the hubs or the data.
Well, you found a lead, so that's off in that part of town.
Okay, so it's a lead.
Do you want to take like BB with you?
Yeah. Did you want to bring backup or something?
Yeah, but who can I trust?
Well, I write everything in a report.
You can certainly trust BB. He will never betray you. It's not
Did
like
you check
he's
tail
a
feathers under the moose?
deceptive
I'm taking Drac.
character at all. He's
I am
totally
taking
not.
Drac with me.
That Drac is not subtle. You are bringing like
This is a
Gazira.
great idea. You should totally bring Drac. I'm really enthusiastic for this.
You can also conceivably bring Tisa because she will eventually revive here. So.
Yeah, but would he bring Tisa? Who do you trust, Toby?
And Toby leaves alone.
Toby leaves alone. Toby's like, I'm bringing Drac. Unfortunately, I think the people that me and Toby both trust in the party are the same people. It's Drac and BB. We don't trust each other.
Is
And I'll totally never.
Because I have too much connection to Smith, and you hate Smith.
yeah.
Yeah.
Nope. I'll ask Drac. You want to come along? I'm going to go check this stuff out.
I will come with.
Big bear.
Tisa will hopefully wake up come our next episode here. We'll hold off so that we can get things split up there. So we'll stop here for now.
Aww.
Ah!
Aww. Okay.
No.
And you can explore further on.
Okay.
Curse you.
So just a reminder, everybody, retweet, back the Kickstarter.
All that good stuff. Appreciate it. Thanks, y'all, for showing up, if anybody's there.
Yeah, we have people.
How much XP?
Oh, yeah. 45.
Oh, we wrote it down.
Yeah, he already said it.
Said it.
No.
Sam was still recording, right?
Yeah, I'm still recording. I gotta record.
All right.
I'm gonna stop recording now, so we can't do anything else.